Hey everybody, welcome to 2 Cents episode 68. It's October 23rd, 2016. Halloween's almost over. This is a live undoctored news show.
Halloween's almost here.
I mean, October's almost over, the month of Halloween. But this is the live undoctored news show we do here at Dollar Reviews. We talk all things entertainment, showbiz, technology, lots of VR, some video games every once in a while. I'm Brian Gillis. You can reach me on Twitter under the same name. Also, Brian at dollarreviews.net. Trying to get out there. I'm here with Stephen Mominex, whose voices you already have just heard.
What, like 68 times at this point?
No.
Maybe fewer than that?
A lot
yeah,
fewer
fine,
than that.
fine.
It's like
63, maybe.
62? 61 probably, actually. It's 60. Okay, we'll call
Have
it.
I really been out for 7 episodes?
Yeah, it's been like 7 or 8 episodes.
Really?
Yeah, because Tyler's done it with me 2 or 3 times. I did it with Gio. I did it with Krish. Who else? Maybe just 5.
Too much dead space. Let's not think about it too long.
It's been a little bit. But anyway, we weren't...
I don't know. I would say maybe... I thought it was around 6, honestly, but...
We can check after the show. Next episode, we'll have the numbers for you guys, so stay tuned.
I'm not dedicated enough to fact check that.
But this was the first time that we didn't have an episode since, like, episode... 4 on a weekly basis? Because I remember for the longest time, I would say the almost weekly 2 Cents show.
Yeah, like we've had 3 off weeks because there was the one close to 52 where we were just like, let's
take a day off.
Let's wait because you waited for me to come back and do it. So there was that.
But outside of the rare exception where we recorded on Monday or Saturday, we've almost never missed one. And the reason I took a week off is because I started a Whirlwind Romance. I've been kind of busy just doing that. It's been quite some time since I've been romantically inclined, and I forgot, just maybe I'm alone here, but how differently everything is, like in terms of what you claim is important and just priorities and just emotions. I know you
It's kind of what you call a honeymoon phase.
It's
because that's what it sounds
it's like
isn't it?
Past that though, like we were like I move very quick in a relationship, more faster than most, but she's like at hyperspace. We went from a month ago, we had like let's start texting, and then as of last week, like I think she spent like 5 days of the last week at my house. So
next week's the week where I gotta talk you off of a ledge. Is that
or when we start sending out the save the dates. So yeah, it's moving very fast, and I worked last Sunday. I wanted the day off, and so I spent it with her. And it was very cute. But now that I've kind of talked about what I did the last week, let's talk about what we did last week. Here's a new section we're putting at the top of the show called Penny for Your Thoughts, or Penny Thoughts. We're gonna go with that for just right now. 2 Cents originally, all the way up until I think it was episode 37 or something like that. We would talk about the news, and then for the next 30 minutes, we would talk about whatever we watched or listened to or whatever, gave little reviews. When we brought Dollar Reviews back, that was like the second half of that show. But we haven't done it so long, I thought it'd be nice to kind of just get out there kind of things that we're interested, or just little tidbits of what we've been looking at. So what have you done this week, Steve? What are your 3 things?
No. Let's start with you, because you got the big one. You got the one that you've been hyping for a while. Let's start with that, because that's what people want to listen to.
They probably do.
If they're listening to this show, they want to start with that. So why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, so I got my PSVR October 13th. I've had it a little over a week now. Got it at midnight. And like you said, I think I counted down the last 9 episodes or so with how many days left. Every person that came on the show, I would talk to them about it. Very, very big on VR in just the workplace and life and everywhere. I'm still a little too early to really say something, and the reason is it's not that I don't have the content. I have a ton of it. I got the VR Worlds game. I got the demo disc. I got Batman Arkham VR. I was playing Cat Lateral Damage earlier. I've done 100-foot robot golf. I've done enough things. I've done a good amount. The problem is that I can't do it for long periods of time. I get VR sickness.
You're not the only one. Like, that's sadly the thing.
It is a thing. Anytime you start a game on PlayStation 4 with the VR headset, it gives you a warning. It says people can be prone to motion sickness. VR sickness is a thing. Be careful of your environment. If you feel sick, take the headset off. And so I knew that this was something that was a possibility, not in my experiences with real VR headsets. When I did Oculus, I didn't have any issues. When I did PSVR, the 2 or 3 times I did it before I got one, no issues. But when I did go Google Cardboard, and this is something I talked about on the show, not just with you and also Blake, but also Greg as well, I had a drift experience. I was sick for like a couple of hours, almost like until I woke up after I had my bad one. And since then, I kind of took away from Google Cardboard. I didn't want to use it anymore. And so, yeah, that's been a thing. Well, the day I got it, I put it in. I was wearing Batman socks. I think I had my Batman pajamas on. I wanted to be the Batman. If you've seen the commercial, it's a really great PSVR selling point where, like, this guy, he's sitting in his living room, he sinks through the floor, and he's transported to the Batcave. Kind of how the game is. You start off, you're in Wayne Manor, you're walking around. Well, not walking, but you're, like, at the piano. Alfred's talking to you. You go down in the Batcave. Really great. The way the game actually starts, and I don't really do spoilers, but this is like the first 5 minutes. You're in Crime Alley and you're witnessing the Waynes being murdered at gunpoint. So you feel like Batman right away. It's not like, oh, you're you, but you're Batman. No. They made it feel like you're Batman. Everything I did in the Batcave, I was just having fun. I was fucking around. You might read reviews, people saying, oh, it's like an hour, 2 hours tops. I spent an hour doing nothing, and so I still have another hour of the real game. So I don't know what they're talking about. I was having fun getting trophies, just looking at stuff, playing with the Batmobile, doing like the target practice, just going for 100% completion. Great time. But after about 50 minutes in the Batcave, I noticed that I was feeling a little sick. It started off, like I said, like the commercial, sinking down into the Batcave. In the game, or the experience rather, you're on an elevator going down, and you're standing up, right. In your brain, it feels like you're in an elevator descending. In reality, your body knows you're not. And so that just gives you an automatic kind of gut check. It does not feel good. But the more time I spent, it was just, I started losing where I was. Like, there was minor things like I would hit my computer desk or something. I knew that I wasn't in that fantasy world. Maybe like a little jitter with the controllers. Not having what happened what I exactly wanted to. But there was enough that it was, my first real time spent in VR that my body wasn't happy. I was starting to sweat a little bit. I had to take it off. I had to eat. I had to take a nap. I didn't use it for a couple more days. And then because my lady friend, I use it even less. But she came over. She did VR Worlds. We did the London High shooting range. She didn't have any problems with it. I let my stepdad use it. He didn't have any problems with it. He was sneezing in my headset, which I didn't care for. I'm going to get one of those VR masks. But yeah, she didn't have any issues. I've since used it. It depends on what I'm doing. So like Drive Club VR, no problem. Just feels silly using a controller instead of a steering wheel. Thumper is awesome as a rhythm. It's called a violence rhythm game, except it's really scary at the end. So I took the headset off. I said, nope. So it's hit or miss. Like 100-foot robot golf, I was using the controller to move instead of my head, so I felt sick instantaneously. But for the most part, it's been okay. I'm just trying to get my sea legs. I'm not trying, it's a $400 hat. I'm not trying to just use it up right away, get over it. I've encountered people that have done everything on the VR Worlds disc, and I'm like dumbfounded because I've only done 2 things. Like I did Street Luge and I did the VR the London Heist, which I haven't actually done. Like I'm trying to stretch this out as far as I can, and I'm not trying to
don't overexpose yourself.
Exactly.
To it.
I'm not. I'm happy with where I am in reality. That I'm not trying to escape. Like that's actually something that I told my lady friend directly. She was over at my place. She was like, why don't you want to do VR tonight? And I was like, well, if you're here, why would I escape? Like VR...
Like, you got a pretty good reality
Exactly.
right
like,
now.
VR is you're not satisfied with what you're doing and who you're with, and you want to get away. It's a vacation. I didn't need that. And so we slowed it down. We're not quite living together right now. And so I'm going to be doing more VR. Hopefully every week on this show I can talk about it, or on Dollar Views when we actually do real stuff. And it's selling well. So well, matter of fact, Sony's, well, not just Sony, but Japanese like retail numbers are out. The VR in Japan sold 51,000 units last week, and versus 30,000 units sold for the PS4 itself. So it's outselling the system. They're not saying how many that is in the States. They're being real coy, but they have announced it's in the hundreds of thousands worldwide. pretty sure they'll hit 1 million by the
It's
end of the
also
year.
you have to have a PS4 to be able to use it
But
too,
there's
right?
43
So
plus million users out there with one, and I think it's going to hit 1 million sold, 1 million units by the end of the year.
wait, PSVR is outsold Oculus at this point, right?
I'm not sure. I would say
At stateside
probably. I
anyway.
would say
Like,
probably, just because the name brand recognition, the fact that there's commercials for it, how big that Taco Bell thing was. I think like 35,000 alone got one because of Taco Bell. So
mhm.
there has been a good amount of exposure despite its limited market, like just its advertising. But that, yeah, that's a good question. That's something you could check right now, tell our listeners. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're like neck and neck. But then again, there's no way to actually know. Like I said, Sony hasn't said the actual numbers, and I'm not sure Oculus has either. Like it's something that you probably want to keep as secretive as possible because there's power in numbers, and people aren't going to buy something that no one's buying. So we can jump back to me. What are some of the stuff you checked out this week?
Oh, geez, I don't know, the debate. Not, without getting to specifics, I guess, I saw it in a theater, so I guess that's somewhat special. And
Uh,
I was with a bunch of people, eating and drinking beers and laughing and crying and just being generally horrified at some things that are said.
you got to grab
Uh,
that woman by the pussy and pull the baby out on the last day.
it's a really fucking weird time that we live in, especially that we're going to that for entertainment, and it's playing very well as
It
entertainment.
is
Because you know
entertainment.
what, just as like a a collective audience experience, like that is one that I will remember. Like not just like for the sake of history of like.
Mm.
Oh man, remember when that shit went down like at the presidential election? It's like, I will remember being with a bunch of people like just audibly shouting at stuff that was being said. It's really kind of scary, but it was fun.
Yeah, my companion of late was over that. It was Wednesday, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so she was over. She wanted to watch it. I like resistance for about maybe a minute. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll watch it. And yeah, no, it was very entertaining. Like I love the
Well,
little
they've all been pretty
just the
entertaining.
interjections that Trump would make. Like Hillary would say one thing, and he would go, "Nope, wrong. You're a liar." Like just those little
Yeah.
things. I was like, I would do the same
Nasty woman.
thing.
No, like yeah, he always does that. He just keeps going wrong.
Like it's so funny.
This whole debate has been
I
that. Like,
would.
even the VP debate, Mike Pence has
Uh,
been saying like, no, Trump didn't say that. No, we didn't say
I
that.
would
Like
love.
just flat out
Can you
denying shit
imagine
that
him like on the phone with like a world leader? Like, nope, you're wrong. That'd be awesome.
that's pretty tame compared to how I imagine it actually going down. It's probably way well. This isn't a political show, but you know what? That was kind of fun. You know what? I did see this movie that I recommend you actually check it out since you're doing your Halloween thing because it just came out on Blu-ray for the first time. It's probably on some streaming service as well
Uh,
because Kino just restored it. But I saw this movie from 1981 called The Pit, and it's a horror film that comes from Canada. So
Sounds
right away
familiar.
you know
Yeah, I might have researched
it's
this.
fucking weird. Yeah, like this is about a kid who might be, I don't know, 12 or 14. Is a pubescent kid like
Hmm.
who has a teddy bear, like a demonic teddy bear that tells him what to do. Also, this like you can imagine where that's going. If that's not crazy enough, like there's this titular pit where there are like trolls hiding underneath, and he brings all the people that he hates in town to be fed to the trolls. And like on top of that, this kid is a sexual deviant, and he's just fucking like trying. He's basically a peeping tom. And
Sounds right up my alley.
he is like that cliche weird horror film. Like
Uh,
it's weird. I can't describe this accurately, but
it's like Problem
it's
Child,
also
except it's demented and there's no restrictions because of a
it's
rating.
yeah, but it's really funny. Like even tonally, this thing is weird. Like because it's almost funny in the way that like a Wes Anderson movie might be funny and like weird and all over the place and just kind of quirky. Like this thing is absolutely like there will be direct lines
Mm.
like that you will remember from this movie. I mean, it's and I don't want to spoil them, but it is a good time. It's worth checking out. Kino did a 4K restoration on it, and it looks beautiful. Fuck, what else?
Your final thing. What's your final?
My final thing? Yeah, I saw Zero Theorem actually.
Oh, is that good?
Wait, no,
You watched it on
it
Amazon?
is good, but I actually, yeah, I did like it a lot, but I actually thought of something better to talk about on my final thing. Because I saw Goodnight Mommy. That's a bit more relevant to
Yeah,
Halloween.
was that scary?
See, it's one of those movies that right off the bat, I knew that all that shit of people going, "Oh, this is gonna be like very scary and very fucked up."
I
It's
saw
like,
the trailer. It seems very scary.
yeah,
and
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
fucked
The
up.
trailer is sure it's a good trailer, but that's not the movie. I mean, this is an art house horror flick from Austria. Like, it's very deliberately paced. It's very atmospheric.
In other words, it's
There
very
are
slow.
some really unnerving things, and you can't help but react to like some of the stuff that happens. It is something that, like, I thought it was genius, honestly, where it went. I guess it divides a lot of people, though, but for me, like, if you have the patience to go along with the ride, I was really fucking down with it. It's something that I thought was great, but I probably will never really watch again, or at least not eagerly, but I'm glad I had that experience the first time seeing it, and just for something that's a nice slow burn thriller, to me, it was a nice a change of pace from all the other stuff I've been watching lately.
Yeah, last year it landed on my radar. I went to this little like a Night Before Christmas live thing downtown Long Beach, and a friend of mine, the next day on Facebook, like left me a video, like the trailer, matter of fact, because we were talking about the Babadook, and she was like, "Oh, you gotta check this out." And so I knew what it was. I know it's on Prime. I probably will watch it. I tried to watch something similar this week. I tried to watch Audition. I just couldn't do it. It was so slow. Like, I remember you said, "Oh, that's an actual date movie." Once you know it, my lady friend, like we try to watch it, and I couldn't do it. Like, even though I was,
See, that's the joke.
no,
like,
she
that I tell
actually
people, is
wanted
like,
to watch it with me. Like, we were watching
did
it.
she know what it was?
Yeah, no,
though?
she's seen it, and she was like, "Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I want to watch this with you." And we started. It was just so slow. Like, I wanted to watch something where people were getting fucking killed or like mutilation, and she was like, "Oh, we'll get there, we'll get there." I was like, "No, I want it now, like right now." Like, I waited like 40 minutes. I was like, "I can't do this." I had to turn it off.
Yeah, there is like a moment, like Audition, you got to be patient for it, but when it comes, then you're just like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching this. Like, Goodnight Mommy might be the same thing to that extent. I think, maybe it's because Audition just has so much more of a reputation that there's a bigger expectation for what that is supposed to be. And, even people that haven't seen it, they know what happens in the last act. Whereas Goodnight Mommy, it's a nice slow burn horror movie in the sense that, like, you're constantly questioning what's really going on.
Yeah.
And like that's that to me is like really intriguing. That's what I like about horror films most, is when you're not really exactly sure what it is that's happening exactly, even if there's like it could be supernatural or something, but like characters are trying to like discover what's going on. You're not really sure to believe what you're
You
seeing.
get that uneasy feeling where
Yeah.
it's like it's a unreliable narrator almost.
Yeah, whereas like Audition, like you do unless you like miss
No, I
sell it to people, then you kind of know what
yeah,
you're getting,
I didn't
honestly.
miss anything with that one. It's just it wasn't the movie I wanted at the time. I wanted something completely different. Like, I wanted splatter. Like, I definitely wanted gore. Like, Phantasm a couple days later was the perfect choice. Like, that was a fun date movie. So the movie that I watched this week, I saw Burying the X, the Joe Dante film from like a year or two ago, that stars Anton Yelchin. Such a shame that it's not a good movie. It's on Netflix. It has like a really good script. It was definitely written well, but there's just something about it that's really wrong. Like, it has great casting. You got not Eva Green. You got Ashley Greene, Anton Yelchin, of course. You have what's his name from Project X?
Ashley Greene's the one from Disturbia, right?
No, well, I think maybe her name's Ashley Greene. I'm thinking of the girl from Twilight, one of the Coens. I know her last name's Green. I want to say it's Ashley.
Yeah, I might be thinking of the wrong person. Then.
But then,
Sorry,
yeah, it
keep
also
going.
has the annoying friend from like Project X and Californication, and whose name escapes me currently. And also like what's her name? Daddario from
Alexander
yeah,
Daddario?
from what was that movie? Not San Andreas.
Just say True Detective.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Just
Well,
say that.
True Detective is the one that she's gonna be remembered for. But yeah,
Exactly. So just say that. It's easy. Our audience will know who we're
the
talking
tits,
about.
the tits from True Detective.
Yes. There you go.
I remember I followed her on Twitter because
Or San Andreas.
she,
I mean, you can go with that
it's
too.
like Barack Obama tweeted that she saw True Detective and he loved it, and she tweeted as like, "The president knows what my tits look like." It's like, yes, he does, and so does.
That has to be a weird feeling.
I don't know. It's a good tweet.
Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, that's got to be a weird
But
feeling when you think
yeah,
about
the
it.
movie it was so sad that it didn't work. Like, kind of like Odd Thomas wasn't exactly good, but the tone was
It was fun.
consistent. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was interesting. Like it was fun. It was real zany, but this was just not good. Like everything there, just the premise is a good one. It's the same as Life After Beth. Like imagine you wanted to break up with your girlfriend, she died, and then for some reason she came back from the dead when you were trying to move on. Like it has a good setup. Like there's some good gore. It's just, oh man, like there's something wrong about it. Like maybe it's the direction or just the way people are acting, and it's just one of those shames. It's like good talent in front of the camera, good talent behind the camera. Like
Well, it's also not really an. It's not exactly an original premise, though.
no,
Like, isn't Death Becomes Her kind of the same thing?
not really. Like that's about like a life serum that two different women take, and like Bruce Willis dealing with their bodies like decomposing. Like it's total over the top like special effects comedy, whereas this is just like a zom-com. Like I enjoyed it, but it wasn't good. Like I gave it 2.5 on Letterboxd, which is a shame. It's worth watching for an Anton Yelchin to see him, especially at this time of the year, because it's like just the setup, the meet cute for him and Alexander Daddario is really good. The final,
Yeah, you should watch The Pit instead.
yeah, probably,
Seriously, give
or
it a
or the
shot
debate.
if you
Watch
can
the
find
debate
it.
on YouTube.
Well, that's over now, but
Well, you can watch it.
debates are worth seeing if they're live. If they're after that, just watch highlights.
I watched it when it wasn't live. I watched like a delay. But anyway, the
Alright.
final thing I did this week is play a good amount of the Infinite Warfare beta. That's the latest Call of Duty. It's coming out just in 2 weeks now. Really fun. Like I've played Call of Duty for the past 2 years now. Advanced Warfare, really liked it. It was my introduction truly to the series. Black Ops 3, I really kind of don't like it outside the mechanics. And so this is like a good marrying of both. Plus, it feels like an old like Modern Warfare type game, which is fitting since Modern Warfare Remastered is coming out the same day as this does. But like the time to kill is great. The graphics are really good. There's a couple of hit or misses there, but it feels solid. Like I'm happy I bought this one already. Can't wait to play it. I know it's going to be a really good, just way to vent after work. Just kill a couple people. It's America.
Yeah.
So this is normally where we could pitch whatever you want to sell. We're on Patreon at patreon.com/dollarreviews, and we're ad supported right here. So it's kind of like NPR, thanks to people like you, but except we don't have a corporation behind us. We're not public radio. This is just us. We do this for nothing. We don't get paid anything. That's why we haven't had dollar views in quite some time, because it is a little pricey to go to the theater, or for at least for both of us go to the theater. So for as little as $1 a month, you could support us. It's not like Kickstarter. That's where you pay someone to do something and they actually haven't done it yet. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. We have hundreds of hours of content, lots of different shows. Just to give you an idea of some of the stuff we do, Debts of Cinema, which is our best thing. It's our semi-topical List of Shame show. This upcoming Wednesday, we have The Changeling, which is supposed to be pretty scary. Neither of us have seen that yet, so stay tuned for that one. We did Phantasm last week, which is kind of a late 70s classic, even though it's pretty weird. Plan 9 from Outer Space the week before that, and The Toxic Avenger to start the month off. That started my horror marathon. I'm a little behind. I've only watched 10 scary movies this month. I want to hit 20 before it's over, so I'm on track to do that. Some non-scary fare, though. We did Victoria, which is that German single-take movie that came out last year. I'd buy that for $1. Steve will, too. It was one of my best films of last year. I think it was top 3. Freddie Got Fingered, Ricky O, The Story of Ricky, which I did a rap for. If you're following politics, you're interested in the
Why you
debate.
gotta mention Freddie Got Fingered? That one's so old.
I don't know.
Just saying.
It's special. It's a special episode. I love it.
Is it? I really.
We're
I
heated.
don't know. I like. There's a section of like our episodes where I'm almost embarrassed to listen to them just because I know like I had different interests, I guess, at that point, and I just wasn't as prepared for them.
How about King?
That's one
it's
of
like,
them, too.
You could watch our Amish episodes. We back to back to what was it? You picked Witness, so I picked Kingpin.
Yeah.
And then a week ago,
Kingpin, no, that was a good episode. I'm happier with that talk really than I was with
a
the
week
movie.
ago, I watched Deadly Silence, Deadly Blessing, which is like Wes Craven's Amish movie, even though it's actually Hedonites or whatever. It was Amish. It was 100% Amish. Really interesting. It has
It's close enough. It's all
has a good cast. It's like Sharon Stone and what's his name? Marty. It's Marty.
From Back to the Future.
No. Marty from actual Marty, like the Oscar-winning Marty.
Oh,
like Dirty
Louis
Dozen.
Borgnine.
Yeah. Ernie
no,
Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
he plays like
Yeah.
the bad Amish dad, which is just
Who
interesting
was
casting.
his last role was in Dave O'Brien's
Last minor role.
produced film. Yeah, one of them. So yeah, hey, props to Dave O'Brien
But yeah, Ricky
from
O.
Cal State Long Beach.
Ricky
Yeah.
O, which I did a rap introduction for. If we get enough money, I'll do another rap for something in the future. You can also watch Bullworth or listen to that episode. We talk about.
You should have done the rap for that one.
I probably should have. I wasn't quite comfortable with the content at the time then. But Warren,
Well, we weren't as creatively innovative, I guess, now as we are. Like, I'm prouder with how those episodes start now.
yeah,
Like,
even though we've
just
been
having
lazy
dead.
a little bit.
Yeah, well, we haven't had creative intros, but like at least I think each intro is at least more distinguishable from the other one. Having music in the background helps, but it's nice to have that to make the audio just sound different, even if it's the same intro over and over and over again. Tonally, like it helps sell the movie better, I think.
Yeah. So we don't just do Deaths of Cinema, though. We also do Dollar Reviews, which is our spoiler-free, no recaps for new releases or anything else that's going on. We've done a TV season. We've done video games, music. So the most recent episodes for that are Yoga Hosers, which we also did a few dollars more. We talk spoilers. We did Suicide Squad. Also Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition, which I'd buy for $1. Still one of the best films of this year, even though no one else would admit it. The Ultimate Edition, mind you, never fucking watch that theatrical cut ever. Never watch it. Buy it, throw it away. Never watch it. There's also 2 other episodes for that one. There's an actual episode for the theatrical if you want to ruin yourself and hear me cry about it.
Well, you have the 4K Blu-ray, by the way. Is the theatrical cut even available in 4K?
No.
Yeah,
unless you
so that's
stream
how
it. I
useless
mean,
it is.
you get the ultraviolet copy. So
But, I mean, there's a 4K DI of that, and they didn't even bother
Fuck
putting that
no.
on disc. So that's how
useless. It's
it
garbage.
is. Yeah.
Other episodes though: Swiss Army Man, Finding Dory, and of course our most listened to review ever, or episode ever rather, Magic Mike XXL, which
If you go by SoundCloud numbers.
SoundCloud and the archive.org. In terms of iTunes numbers, that's the top one. It's the top one on any
right.
service. It's number one. It's the best one.
Yeah, not YouTube.
Well, yeah.
I think Kingdom of Heaven has everything outbeat on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, that's like,
Yep.
let's not talk about numbers. We don't have lots of them. But thanks for bearing with us. Now it's the actual
We
show.
would love some more numbers.
You can listen to the news. Now I got a reason. It's like we'll always talk for 30 minutes, and then it'll start the show, and that way people can know to skip ahead if they're interested in that. So the big thing that happened this
There you
week
go.
technically hasn't really happened yet, but we got to talk about it anyway because it's so fucked up. So AT&T, still entertainment hungry after obtaining DirecTV last year, has just acquired Time Warner. The Warner Brothers handed over all of its assets for $85 billion, which is just slightly more than what they declined 2 years back when Fox tried to take control of them. If you don't know who Time Warner are, you should. They're the people behind Turner, Turner Classics, TNT, TBS, the CW in part, DC Comics, Mad Magazine, Warner Brothers Games, Warner Brothers Music, the Harry Potter movies. If you can think of a huge franchise that isn't Marvel, they probably got a finger in it. They're doing Ready Player One next year. They got 5 Harry Potter movies coming down the pipeline. That's a lot of content to be part of a big teleco. It's like, this is really scary. This is a giant conglomerate. Like, there's Comcast, which is kind of scary. You know, they got TV and internet, and they also own NBC Universal.
Yeah.
But now, AT&T owns internet, wireless, phone service. They own a DirecTV. They have DirecTV Now coming out for cord cutters. They own a huge TV, like cable TV company, local TV. They have movies. They have news. They have video games. They have comic books. They have so many things. This is literal vertical integration. I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future, in the same way that we've talked about on the show, that if you have DirecTV and you have AT&T, you get unlimited data, and it's the only way you can do that. I wouldn't be surprised that if you're part of the entire Ma Bell family, in the future, if you get free HBO, or better yet, kind of like how the T-Mobile Tuesday thing works, every month you get access to one brand new Warner Brothers movies in theaters if there's a big enough one released, which is something that they've already done because Suicide Squad was a T-Mobile Tuesday promotion. So they're very comfortable doing something like that. They can probably make that on their own. But I'm just scared. I'm scared that this is a retreading of the AOL Time Warner days, something we talked about on our You've Got Mail episode of Debt to Cinema. Like 16 years ago, AOL outright bought Time Warner when it was still Time Warner, when it was Time Magazine and Sports Illustrated and all of that other stuff, when it was still Time Life plus the other things. And that didn't end well with the dot-com burst. And so a lot of people on the internet are talking about this. They're happy. Oh, it's the cord-cutting age. We got to work well. Look at Comcast, what they're doing. They've been successful. We got to find to marry all of our content to make sure everyone has it. And this is a monopoly.
Yeah, but that's how you monopolize.
No, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
This,
exactly.
Like, Ma Bell was a monopoly. Like, AT&T used to be the only phone service you could get in the United States, basically. Why? Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Of course they're going to be the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And they got broken up. They became singular. They came back, and now it's been getting worse and worse and worse over the last couple of years, and this is just too much for me.
Honestly, like, as far as I sorry to put down the public, but I think the public is kind of dumb in this sense, because that is, like, I have not heard that much on this, but like a lot of the consensus on this from the uneducated, which even I would consider myself on that, because I really hear about this from you for the most part. But most people seem not to care, and as far as entertainment too, they're just kind of like, oh, I don't mind. That'd be nice to have all my eggs in one basket.
I only got one phone.
The people that are like,
one bill every month.
If it's not on Netflix, then I'm not watching it. Everything should be on Netflix. Blah blah. So I don't think they're really aware. Like, they can't process, or they don't really think about it as a monopoly. As far as anything to add to that, yeah. I mean, by the way, when I'm saying that, that's where I'm just kind of like, yeah, I sadly see that happening as a reality, just because I don't think the public cares.
It's gonna happen.
But as far as adding anything to that, common sense dictates that I just don't have much to add, other than, yeah, you're right. It's
like the SEC can disavow this marrying, and there's also room for a rival to put up a better offer, which is totally doable. But
what if it's Wanda?
It could be Wanda. I mean, they obviously, they're the next news point. That wouldn't be that scary. They already announced that they wanted to get a studio, like a real studio. Warner Brothers used to be married with Legendary. Wanda owns Legendary. Put Legendary back with Warner Brothers. Like, that wouldn't be such a bad deal. That way, like, Wanda would get all of the profits from Batman, like the Dark Knight trilogy and stuff like that. Like, it wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, like,
that still sounds pretty scary.
It's a little scary, but not as scary as the idea.
Just because Wanda makes their intentions clear, that doesn't make it any less frightening.
Like, if this deal goes through between Comcast and AT&T, they're going to own two of the biggest, not just studios, but media companies in our country and in the world. Like, between Universal, NBC, Warner Brothers, and like TNT, like all their CNN, all of their cable stuff, HBO, Cinemax, they own those two telecoms. Are going to own most of America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Donald Trump, I've never talked about on the show before. Maybe it's because we just mentioned the debate, but he said that he's going to.
I didn't even mention his name during that talk, did I?
No, I don't think you did.
I kept it vague. I mean, it's clear who I'm talking about.
But yeah, he said that if he gets elected, he's going to try to fight acquisitions like these because they destroy democracy. That too much concentration of power in the hands of so few is a bad thing, and I 100% agree. Like,
are you sure you're reading the right
quote? No, that's him.
Because you're saying Donald Trump in a sentence that makes sense.
No, yeah, he said this. Check THR Variety or just type in Donald Trump AT&T. It's gonna pop up.
All right then.
It's scary. Like, I can't remember the last time I worried about where America was going, like, in this same manner. Like, Vizio being just sold off.
In one sense, I don't know. You could get in a deeper political or philosophical conversation. There's a lot of shit that worries me, and I don't know. Now I find myself getting more apathetic in just almost any news like this, which is very dangerous, actually. Unfortunately, but yeah, like if this happens, my reaction is probably going to be like, well, fuck. All right, I'm not surprised, but fuck it,
It's like this could have been so much worse, too, because AT&T tried to acquire T-Mobile a year or two ago. So if that had gone through, there would have been only 3 major carriers, and one of them would own Time Warner. And I think what's scariest about this for me is that I am not necessarily a Time Warner fanboy, but I'm definitely a DC Comics one, and I love
They're linked to that.
yeah, like I love Batman, all these heroes, and I'm looking forward to all these DC films. And I've given Disney so much flack for buying Marvel, and I'm sure AT&T has the oversight not to try to control what's going on at the film studio. Like I'm sure they would let them do their own thing since they have the experience doing that. But even still, like I talked about off air before, Coca-Cola used to own Paramount. Like before it was a Gulf Western company, it was Coca-Cola. Like that.
Are you sure that wasn't Sony?
Oh, that's Columbia. But even still, like, a movie studio used to be owned
Yeah,
by a
sorry,
soft drink company. Like that. That is so weird, and this is even worse. Like because I don't know if I was totally into news at the time when Comcast acquired Universal, but
No, like that happened when around like '09
something like
or
that.
somewhere.
You know, like the
abouts?
closest
Yeah.
thing we got to that in recent times is, you know, like DreamWorks joining Universal, which was like a minor thing. That's like Hollywood being Hollywood. But this is a changing of the tide. Like this is gonna make maybe the world scared of us in just a business standpoint. Like how do you rival
Like
a
this is
stock
one
offering?
corporation having
Yeah.
control over people's lives in multiple ways than one, based on not only just how they consume entertainment, but how they fucking communicate.
Like they
Like-
could easily send out a text message to every single subscriber with a video to the trailer of their next movie. Like
Yeah.
there's so much that has happened this week in terms of Warner Brothers outside of this news point that it's just scary how much money they're going to be making. Okay, like I already mentioned, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is getting 5 movies. Here's a couple other ones. Arkham VR just came out, like I talked about at the beginning of the show. Right on cue after Gene Wilder's death, Warner Brothers has announced they're making a Willy Wonka franchise. How about Warner Brothers?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Warner Brothers is doing 13 more movies with IMAX. They re-upped their deal, which includes stuff like Ready Player One, Blade Runner
Which
2049.
is very not surprising.
Not surprising, but
I don't know why that's
that's a
news,
lot of
but-
money.
Yeah.
Fucking what else? John Chu's Crazy Rich Asians. Warner Brothers won the fight. They came on top for that that bidding war. Super exciting. It's just I was gonna talk about them anyway. They're always doing something that I want to talk about, whether that be on TV or you know their fucking Love Struck thing, that Film Struck rather, that's about to come out. Their new streaming model with the Turner Classic Movies and Criterion Collection offerings.
Like I do also have more respect for Time Warner content that tends to be out there, especially from Warner Brothers,
like-
because as much as they put out franchise stuff, they take more risks
like
than other studios.
True
there,
Detective
with shit
and
like
Westworld
Gravity
and
yeah.
Game of Thrones and
Yeah, even in TV, like they are bigger risk takers as far as being out there for originality.
fucking
Even though Westworld is an adaptation,
Sure, but
yeah,
the
like bringing that in this day and age, it's still
it's like
something.
the CW's tagline is "Dare to Defy." It's like to defy what? That you don't have to be the outcast, that you can be part of Big Brother. Like that, we've been scared for so long, worried that the NSA and the government, because of Snowden, are the ones that are listening to us and are going to be trapping our lives. No, we've always been a slave to you know products and buying them and wanting the best of the best and keeping up with the Joneses. That they're going to be able to listen to us now. We talked about like you know Amazon before
We put our voices out there online willingly too.
but we've talked about how when you're on Facebook you get the ads that are dedicated to you, or how when you're on Amazon then you go on Facebook they throw a random ad for
Oh
something
yeah,
that
no,
you
they
want.
know what my Amazon
Yeah,
searches
they
are, and
know.
every time I see that, it's
Or
fucking
like
scary.
Google, they know how you're going to complete the sentence. The fact that Google always knows, based on the Android source code, your location, your longitude and latitude, how fast you're moving, all these things that they collect like just secretly. Well, okay, my phone thinks that it's talking to me. It's listening to me right now. That if they have access to that, you don't think they're going to be using that kind of metadata? They're not going to go, oh, this user really likes talking to people about Batman. Maybe we should offer
No,
them.
they are using
Yeah.
that, like absolutely.
It's going to happen.
I mean,
it's going to be scary.
There are codes out there, especially from like Amazon and other sites. Like, if I type in, I don't know, something vague, like if I just type in the word witness right now on Google, which is very vague. But Google knows me. Google knows that I'm going to be looking for a movie. So it's going to pull up the results for the movie
our episode
without me having to put anything like the year or just tagging the word film or movie on that. Like, it knows me that well that it will do that.
Just saying, if you guys Google Debt to Cinema, we're the first thing.
We are up there.
We're on
because it's a good
name.
name.
The first page, it's all us, and then like 1 or 2 reviews for the debt, which doesn't even.
You are very welcome.
Doesn't even make sense. Yeah, well, you should be thanking your coworker actually.
For what? For the name or for that discovery?
Yeah, that discovery. Yeah, because he was the one.
Well, it was kind of a mutual discovery because they were struggling to Google, and I just threw out the names. So it was like, oh yeah, that's the first one.
SEO on top.
So yes.
Yep,
there we go.
Here's a CEO on top, though. We're talking about Wang Jialin. 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that he was coming to LA for a little speech. So at LACMA this week, he actually announced a big thing, something called Movie Metropolis. We already knew that they had a big thing in where is this, in Qingdao. It's a movie studio. It's a resort. It's like apartment housing. It's everything all in one. It's a theme park. Like literally, they're trying to make it a huge tourist attraction. But he mentioned that there's going to be a 40% rebate to Hollywood Productions if they film at the studio, which is really big. Like, to put that in perspective, a lot of people shoot in Atlanta because Georgia offers 30%. So the way this is going to work, they're basically, Jalen made an $8 billion it's an $8 billion studio, but there's going to be a $750 million piggy bank, which means over 5 years that's going to be dispersed. Whoever comes first is going to get it. Films that are already going to be shooting there and taking advantage of it is Wanda's own Legendary. Godzilla 2 and Pacific Rim, both Pacific Rim 2, they're both going to be filming there. I'm sure a lot more of stuff. Probably the upcoming Marvel movies that haven't been done yet, like fucking Avengers 3 and 4. But yeah, he expressed his interest and hope that the industry not only is going to shoot there and use more Asian actors, but also just start making story-driven films instead of CG spectacles to find success with Chinese audiences. Because as a people, they care about the story, not what's happening on screen. But yeah, like direct flights from LAX to Zhengzhou are going to start happening, and all of this hopefully is going to just make it that next global attraction, the new Hollywood of the East, I guess.
I'm still planning my trip to China, so
just wait a couple of years, go there, get a studio tour.
Yeah, I know. I might wait.
You could see Godzilla in person. Maybe they're like on one set they're filming the real Godzilla, and on the other one they're filming the Japanese version by Toho, and there's the guy in the suit. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
But yeah,
are this in Godzilla CG? Now I have not seen Shin Godzilla. I don't even. Know if
I think the new one is CG. Yeah, since because I know Godzilla 2000 or whatever, Godzilla Wars, like that is still the suit. I tried watching those, like one of those last year. I couldn't.
You realize that was almost a Debt to Cinema pick.
Really?
Actually.
Which one?
Godzilla 2000. I'm not kidding.
Oh man, we're not.
It's called Godzilla 2000.
Well, it's because they had to distance themselves from the Roland Emmerich movie, which came out in 2000. Like they were like.
No, that was 1998.
But it was basically advertised as Godzilla 2000. Like,
well, no, it's like there's a couple of titles like that. Like even Dracula 2000. Yeah. Like, I still have to see that movie. just because it's called Dracula 2000.
You should watch.
It's gonna be terrible, but I have to see it.
You should watch Transylvania 5000, 4,000 years from now. That's what you should do.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's a real movie. It has Jeff Goldblum in it, and fuck, who else? It's really, really, really wacky.
I'm not gonna be alive.
It's kind of like a haunted honeymoon type movie, where it's like just the tropes of the Universal classic monsters and like look into it.
I want to watch Jason X again actually before Halloween. I've been in the mood
Jason
for that.
2000. They should have named it that.
It basically
It's Jason 2000.
That movie is amazing.
David Cronenberg, the movie.
No joke, I love it.
It's pretty good. He has a machete. Where he's like he's evolved.
Jason 2.0.
This one's way bigger than Wanda though. In terms of just VR and how much proof there is that this next year is the big time. The NBA partnered with NextVR to offer one game a week in virtual reality for the entire season this week. The only catch is that you have to be a League Pass subscriber, which is a pretty penny. But there's tons of cool perks included in this. Dedicated announcers, arena entertainment viewing during commercial breaks, such as like cheerleaders and stuff, inclusive graphics, all kinds of stuff, plus also access to every single basketball game, even out of market. Like the league's earlier VR efforts, though, this is going to be a Samsung experience. So if you don't have one of their Gear VR headsets, you're not going to be able to do this. Obviously, that's probably going to change when there's more headsets out there, and also with Samsung's bad timing with the Note 7 recently, that might change too because of those kind of reasons. I wouldn't be surprised, especially because there's already an NBA app on PS4 and PS3. If PSVR gets like access to this, maybe around the halftime, or not the halftime, but the
Like
All-Star
basically within 5 years from now, this will be the
Oh,
norm. And
yeah,
it'll be
no.
fucking
Every
legit.
single game within the next 5 years is definitely going to be in VR, not just for basketball, but every single sport. Not just sports, any kind of competition. That's a guarantee. 5 years maybe is too many. Probably 3 or 2. I would actually say 2, but 5 is there's no doubt about it. What is cool about this, it's going to start on opening day with Sacramento playing against San Antonio. I kind of want it, because you can get like a 7-day trial. I want to find a way to make this work with what I have. Like if I can like spoof my Google Cardboard, because there are VR apps on the PS4. They're not as many as Cardboard. I have way more access on there. But there's like Within, and there's the Invasion short by Bao Bao, and there's like a couple other things that I haven't really played with yet. And I just hope, like I said, this season that happens, so I can see what that's like, because I haven't done. I did like boxing in VR for a little bit, but it wasn't 3D. I'm not sure the basketball is going to be in 3D either, but I'm still just really curious to see what they're offering for the early adopters, because basketball, or just sports in general, I mean, like I said, basketball, the NCAA Final Four last year was in VR. I think the All-Star game had some VR stuff. The finals, they did VR content on Twitter. Like, they've been doing it really hard with the league. And it's funny because the NBA, one of its major partners, is Turner Sports, a.k.a. Time Warner. So AT&T is going to be able to take advantage of this too. Just that.
If that deal goes
yeah,
through.
hopefully it doesn't. I really, because that's the kind of acquisition that literally takes like a year to pass. They have to look at all the stuff, all the board members and insider trading and all kinds of things, that it's probably going to be around like August or September if it goes through that we find out.
Well, people can be bought within that time. You never know.
Yeah, someone could show up. It's like
Yep.
Verizon steps up. We actually want the movie studio, guys. Like, we're not too far away from that. Like, I could see
That's not what I meant, but I get
like
you.
Paramount wants to sell off half of their studio. Why, like Viacom could sell to Verizon. I could see that now. Like, why not? Like, why wouldn't that be a possibility? Fucking assholes. The major story that happened last week that I wish we talked about, but we couldn't because we didn't do the show, is something that we actually talked about off air 2 weeks ago, and it's Devin Faraci.
Oh, just skip
No,
over
I
it.
want to talk about this.
It's he's a useless piece of
Oh,
shit.
totally.
That's not even worth
But like,
mentioning right
you
now.
kind of
Just it
you
happened.
like defended
and-
him off air because
Well, I didn't even know what it was about, too. Like, I saw a vague
Uh-huh.
tweet, and then it was not even, it was in response to that situation, but I was just like, okay, yeah, he's a harsh film critic. Then the next day, I saw the string of those tweets, and I was actually laughing my
well, our
ass off.
listeners are probably interested, so I'll just tell them.
And then if you have them in front of you, you can read
not
them.
the
But then
actual
his
tweets,
response,
but I could if I really wanted to. I don't care that much. But
his response is brilliantly pathetic.
Devin Faraci is a born-again feminist. In all accounts, he was like
He says,
like
yes, self-professed.
self-professed born-again feminist. And by all accounts, he used to be like a really trash person, real asshole, not just on the internet, which he still is, but also in reality. And
He's notorious for being a very, very difficult personality to deal with. That's part of why he's appealing, I guess.
no, I think it's because the assholes on the internet see him and are like, yeah, I'm an asshole too. I like his viewpoints.
Yeah, exactly. There's that.
But
appeal.
anyway, he's been very anti-Trump. He's been tweeting like the whole election about what's going on. And when it came to the grab the woman by the pussy thing, he said some shit like, no one should ever treat women like that, whatever. This girl came out of the woodwork with an anonymous account, said, with your statements, do you remember the time where you literally grabbed me by my genitals in a bar? put your hands in the air and told all your friends to smell them. And he was like, what the fuck did he say? He was like, I don't remember that at all, but I'm truly sorry.
I can only believe
Yeah.
you, like, and
I'm
yeah.
sorry
And
for
it's
being
just
a
like,
vile human being back then, or something just atrocious. Since that has happened, he has stepped down / been fired from editor-in-chief of Birth Movies Death, which happens to be owned by the Alamo Draft House, which you frequent.
Yeah.
Tim League has been very silent about it, which is weird because he's a very
all
vocal
he said
guy.
is that they'll look into
Yeah,
it.
probably. Yeah, Faraci's also stopped doing his podcast. He's basically dead now. Which, good riddance. We talked about on the show before, a couple months ago when he called the angry video game nerd James Rolfe a limp dick loser because he didn't want to see an all-female Ghostbusters. Now we find out that this White Knight is actually a fucking piece of shit. So good riddance. Thanks to whatever you contributed to film criticism. I'm sure it wasn't much. But yeah, good knowing you.
Yeah, to be fair, like, he does have some good reads.
I'm sure he
like,
does.
To be fair, like, there are good things that he brings up. I don't fucking know the guy, and hey, I won't defend
Yeah,
the
no.
guy. Like, I mean, it seemed like an interesting personality, but then when you find out stuff like that happens, and he doesn't even deny it, he just kind of tries to, like,
Almost apologize.
weirdly apologize, but not really. It's like, okay, that's affirmation of, like, shit, I guess I can already
If
get
your-
the impression of exactly
If
what
your
kind of person Devin
defense
Faraci
is, I was a real vile person back then, it's like you probably still are. Like, just
Yeah,
he's the
well-
kind of guy that if you just look at it, well, probably not now, but if you just look at his Twitter
I mean, like,
replies, the kind of things he sends
yeah,
other
like-
people, oh man, he like starts flame wars and it gets all of his followers to attack random people because they differ from his
Well, it's
opinion.
like, yeah, the Trump defense. It's like, okay, you could honestly use that if your behavior now did not back up that statement. But, like, I mean, there are people where you could be like, okay, yes, I was a piece of shit when I was in my 20s or whatever. I was fucked up. I did a shitload of drugs, treated women horribly. I'm not that guy anymore. That like, hey, sometimes that can be fine.
Yeah, it can be true, yeah.
If you really are not that guy anymore, and there's nothing about your personality now that makes people think, "Wow, okay, yeah, you really aren't a piece of shit." If it's more shocking, this is just more like it just is like a bigger affirmation. Like, okay, people that already hate Devin Faraci,
Me.
they're fucking like you. You're going like fucking good riddance.
Seriously.
Like, okay, fuck the guy.
Like,
Yeah.
I out of curiosity, I want to read some of his stuff, especially from the early days before Birth Movies Death became a thing, because I know he's, like, along with like Harry Knowles and Peter Sciretta, like, it kind of kickstarted the wave of film criticism that we are a part of, and so I have some kind of general interest in his career, but as a person, he is no bueno.
Yeah, it's like, no, he admitted it, and it's like, yeah, I can't condone
Yeah.
that. No one in their right mind can.
Good
anyway.
news, though, in terms of just women, Melissa Rosenberg, showrunner of Jessica Jones, has announced that they're aiming to get only female directors for the show's second season. I'm joking. That's fucking stupid. Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. This is almost as stupid as Disney and Sony trying to get an Asian director to film their Mulan movies, or I don't know,
It has to be
a
done in this
female,
day and age,
a
though.
female director for Wonder Woman, or a black director for Black Panther.
Well, right now it's all about celebrating diversity by pointing out that
Oh.
you are being diverse.
No,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally like saying, hey, no, I'm being politically correct, and that's fine. And hopefully, I hope to God we'll be past that day where we can all just literally be fucking equal in that sense and be like, you know what? An artist is a fucking artist.
It's like I
okay?
skipped over really fast John Chu's Crazy Rich Asians. That's going to have an all-Asian cast. It's going to have an Asian screenwriter, Asian director, John Chu's production company's behind it. It's going to be great because it's going to be actually that it's inherently about Asian culture. It's going to work.
Even though the title makes it sound
That's
racist.
the name of the actual book, though.
It's like not being racist seems to be the new racist.
It's well, I mean, yeah, sure, but like that was written for an Asian audience, and so it's meant for a certain kind of people. I don't mean a yellow, but
No,
no,
come on.
that's
but you are hinting
sure.
at that in some
But I
way.
like
It-
in the same way
it seems
that
like
the
they're-
Joy Luck Club was tilted towards a Chinese readership. this is tilted towards kind of the same thing, except it's meant more for like second generation or first generation American Asians, and that way they're kind of one foot in the other. They're not exactly part of the diaspora, but kind of are, and so I'm pretty sure that's the kind of target audience they're going to have. But it sounds like
Honestly,
it's a good
though,
rom-com too, so it's going to help with
it
that.
doesn't really change that though. Like as far as how movies are made now, like Tyler Perry is
Yeah.
an African American filmmaker, and like in Hollywood's line of thinking, it's like okay, he makes
He
black
makes black
movies.
movies.
Get a black guy to make black
Yeah.
movies. You know, like the big thing with diversity in popular entertainment is that you get a diverse filmmaker of whatever background that is able to make something that's accessible to anybody. Really,
I
like that's the
don't-
big argument there. Because yes, there are filmmakers of I don't know, minority
Spike Lee.
filmmakers, if that's the term
Ang
I
Lee.
should use. Yeah, but like they do appeal
Jason
more
Lee.
to demographics rather than to wide audiences. And it seems like that is the thing of when you bring in tentpole releases or or Oscar releases, stuff that's or blockbuster stuff that's able to be very appealing and make a shitload of money. It's like 95% white filmmakers that are
like there
men
is an
at
issue.
that point. That's the
there's
issue
an issue in
now.
Hollywood. Last year it was the last 2 years was that it was Hollywood is too white and only respects two blacks, and
And we're looking at another Oscar so white.
Not
season,
really.
at least as far as Oscar
I
contenders.
mean
yeah.
Moonlight is getting.
You're looking forward to The Founder, but everyone's
fuck
like,
yeah, I'm
oh
looking
yeah,
forward to The Founder.
hey, Michael Keaton will probably be nominated for Best Actor.
I
There's
hope
an old white guy
I
there.
hope he is in 3 consecutive Best Picture winners. I
just saying,
pray
with the
to my Batman shrine right now.
With the exception of, well, I don't think John Hancock is going to be the guy to bring it.
anyway,
Sorry. Another old white male.
But anyway,
filmmaker.
like, there's been a lot of movies this year that are getting a lot of buzz. You got Moonlight. You got not I was going to say 12 Years a Slave. Birth of the Nation. Loving.
Well, that's kind of losing the buzz. It's
Yeah, but
disappeared
even
now.
still,
I can't even see it. Like I wanted to. I was thinking about seeing it. Now I can't.
I'm probably gonna check it out on a screener. I knew I wasn't too excited about it. I know a lot of people that have already seen it. I haven't asked them personally because I want to make my own mind. But there has been a good enough amount. There's been a good amount of performances that I have a feeling based on the new members in the Academy, it's not going to be a problem. It's going to become Oscar so male type of thing. It's like outside of.
Well, but the thing is, though, as far as Oscar contenders, it does seem like it is. It could be another Oscar so white year because not because the Academy picks it, but because those are the movies that are getting made.
Yeah.
So it's probably still going to be pretty white dominant, I guess.
We'll see. I mean, there isn't anything
We'll see.
to rile up the audience this year, kind of in the same way that there was Creed and Straight Outta Compton last summer. It's been a pretty mellow thing, but I still haven't seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, still, jumping back to the actual topic, Jessica Jones is a great show. First real female-centric superhero show on quote-unquote TV. Really great stuff. And I'm very excited for the second season also, what they're going to do on the Defenders, which is funny because
When's that coming out?
Defenders is probably going to be this time.
No, the second season.
I don't know. Probably early 2017 or 2018 rather. But there's no date on that. In the same way, there's no date on Daredevil season 3 or Punisher or Luke Cage 2 or Iron Fist has a date. Like they put the dates out pretty short ahead. That's what they do on Netflix.
Again, white male
Yeah,
actor.
whatever.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Iron Fist is a white character, so that was the internet being stupid. Danny Rand is not Asian. That was the internet literally being stupid and being upset about something that they actually knew nothing about, which is 90% of the internet.
It's just fun to joke about.
It's like
because
Luke
that joke's been
Cage.
made.
I stopped watching it. I was really interested. It feels like they want to be the blackest show on TV in the worst way possible. Like the series starts with a black barbershop and everyone acting like they're best friends and talking like about haircuts and basketball, and it just doesn't feel earned. And the whole show kind of feels that way. It's like, hey, look, it's that guy from House of Cards. He runs this club. That's cut away to this black singer at his club doing music. And now we're going to do this. And it's like, they literally are like, what's up, my brother? How you doing this weekend? Like, it is the...
It's like a 70s blaxploitation
Yeah, well,
show.
that's kind of what they went for. That's kind of like the tone. Like, it owes a lot to Shaft. But it seems like the worst kind of pandering possible. Like, I truly hope Black Panther is not the same way. That'd be really depressing. But yeah, Marvel...
Well, based on what we saw from Captain America, I don't think that's fitting of the character,
Yeah.
really.
But Marvel is on board with this all female director thing, so 52 films by women might be a lot easier next year, guys. But it makes sense since Disney needs to do whatever they can to prove that they respect their female audience, especially because Captain Marvel is not, or Miss Marvel, whatever you want to call it, does not have a female director yet. And as far as I can tell, they don't have any women directors at all on their slate of films. So at least they can do that on TV.
Well, that's going to be the one where they will inevitably do it.
Maybe.
It was going to happen for Thor.
Yeah, Thor 2.
2. Yeah, I forget who it was, but creative differences. I guess that's the excuse.
That happens a lot in movies. Talking of which, you saw that Deadpool 2 lost Tim Miller.
Yep.
That is kind of really sad because without him, that movie wouldn't exist, really.
Yeah, I mean, even though that's the only movie of his that we really know of is Deadpool.
His only movie.
What else did he do?
It's literally his only.
But yeah, still, that actually is kind of a big deal, I think, because it's, like I don't think Deadpool has. It's not really like a one-man movie. Like it's a creative effort of everyone on the team that worked their asses off on it, and
but it's like
they pretty much got to make the movie that they wanted to make. So the fact that there's creative differences there, it's like
he leaked the test footage that got Fox to greenlight the movie. If he didn't do that, it would have never got made. And the rumor over the creative difference split is that they couldn't agree on casting. I think Ryan Reynolds wanted Liam Neeson to be Cable, and he wanted someone else. But, this is a rumor. No one actually knows. But the good news is that Fox is keeping him on to make a first film in a planned trilogy anyway. So he still has another gig. So they must have split amicably. It's a good debut regardless. It's kind of shame because it seemed like they really had a great tandem there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Ryan Reynolds, with his resurgence of popularity and how he turned around and proved that the R-rated superhero film could be a thing and all these things, that is going to be fine regardless. It's kind of weird, especially in like a kind of bad month. It's like there's so many deaths this year that's kind of a creative death in a way.
Yeah, sure.
But
I mean, hey, yeah, I'm just glad Deadpool exists so I can see Logan.
It's like,
which I'm really fucking
that trailer
stoked
looks
for.
pretty badass. I mean, the Johnny
God,
Cash
yeah.
song put it over the top, but it looks pretty badass.
But fits really well.
No, I didn't mean
honestly.
oh man, that's too much. As in this
No, it's
looks
just
like
kind of
really
like you're
badass.
like, yep, I know what this is. All right,
like this is the Swan song. This is Unforgiven, which I already knew it was going to be anyway. But even still, it's like, what better way to end the Wolverine franchise, or better yet, just Hugh Jackman on screen playing the character by probably killing the character too.
Yeah, I mean, and especially after what I saw with the Wolverine, just the very deliberately slow pacing of parts of that movie. It's like I can imagine what the tone of this is going to be, and I'm fucking digging it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Netflix, they don't always do original stuff. Sometimes they're just about the money, and even worse yet, their talent is about the money. So much so, and this is the one time where I can say, Time Warner didn't win this episode. Chris Rock just landed a $40 million deal for just 2 comedy specials. He's going to make $20 million a piece, which is astronomical considering he's not a big name in comedy anymore. His last thing was on HBO, that was it Shoot the Messenger or whatever? That wasn't good.
I don't know. It was what, like years ago too? Well, I mean, his comedy specials have a lot of time distance between them. Like it's more like he kind of just goes off, from doing stand-up for a while.
He's been busy lately.
Because he does do new jokes. He tries to do new material all the time. So he's mainly, I guess, one of those comics that just goes off and tries to live for a while and really
without that,
figure out his place in the world and how he's changed as a comedian.
That being said, he's been making a lot of movies lately. Like since his last comedy special, he made Top 5. He made Good Hair, which is a really good documentary about black beauty products. What else did he make? He made I Think I Love My Wife. He was in a couple of movies.
That was years ago, and apparently
I think
don't know.
that movie's not good. I think Louis C.K. wrote it. He's in it, so he probably wrote it too. But these are a lot of
he directed it.
Chris Rock directed it. Yeah. But these are just some of the things that he's been busy with since his last special. And I mean, I'm probably gonna watch these because he's a great stand-up. But it's like Netflix. I think a lot of people watch them for their stand-up as it is. And this is just like a big win for them, especially, like I said, it's a fuck you to Time Warner. Like, every big Chris Rock special has been on HBO up until now.
Netflix has had a lot of wins. Almost every time we talk about them, it's usually a win. I don't know, like yeah, HBO Go though, that was the one thing where when I did have access to it, like I preferred going in there for stand up comedy at like shit. What does Netflix have on there? Because I do not go there for
They're
that.
all originals. So they have like Hannibal Buress and they have Tig Notaro. They have fucking what's her name Wong, Ali Wong.
Yeah, I don't
Like
think I've watched any of
they
those.
have
There's the Kevin Hart one.
Kevin
That's
Hart.
about
Like
it.
they seriously have a special like Dimitri Martin, I believe, for just about every major comedian. And then for a lot of them, they have like their shows too. Like so, I don't know if they have Louis C.K., but you can probably watch one of his specials and watch episodes.
You can probably watch
Yeah,
Louis
you
on
can
there,
watch episodes of Louis
or at
as
some
well.
point you could.
So like the comedy's always kind of been their thing, even if they're getting rid of their movies. It looks like that's where they want to stay because it kind of is the perfect model for the whole binge model. You can sit there, watch a whole stand-up special, and then you feel accomplished. It's it's like even shorter than a movie. You can laugh about it with
Hmm.
people, whatever.
You can even have it on in the background. You
Yeah,
don't necessarily have to be
hmm
looking at the
and
screen. You can just have it on while you're
and
doing
it's super
something.
cheap to produce. It's easy to turn around. It holds its shelf life, but it's like they have so much money that Chris Rock's getting that kind of a paycheck like that. I wonder what the other people get. Like 5 mil, maybe 2, 1. Like, I, if I was one of them, I would come out and say what I got. Be like, this is some bullshit. Like, I'm funnier than Chris Rock. Um,
Yeah, but Chris Rock is a
it's
huge
the
name,
name.
especially in the world of stand-up.
Like less so,
Like he's
yeah,
earned his
less so
status.
now. Like just because it's been such a while. Like he's been a TV movie guy for the last decade or so. But
I mean, there was a gap between his specials between what 2004 and 2008, I
yeah,
think.
I think it
Because
was
I know he did
it
one
was
that
a little
was
bit
it
more than
had to
that.
do with the '08
Yeah,
election
like
too.
because
But
his last HBO one was kind of weird. Like it was shot all over the world as international tour. So I think
yeah, it was like three different
yeah, and
countries,
so they
and it was weird how they
yeah
did cut
they
back
were
and forth on the
cutting
same
between
joke.
the jokes at the different places, and it was like he's wearing something different. The stage is set up differently. The crowd looks different. Their laughs don't sound the same. Like it was kind of
It is something that's interesting though, is that seeing
mhm.
how not every single joke will
No.
land like in the same way. Some will they could be laughing at all three locations, but some will be a little bit more uproarious in one of those locations than the other two.
It was still an okay thing, but anyway, moving on.
Like it's an experiment. It didn't exactly work, but it was
It
interesting, I
was
think.
interesting, just not compared to his other stuff. But, eh.
Yeah, like it was worth trying because at least the jokes are still there.
Moving on. I mentioned it a minute ago. Mulan. Sony's looking to make a live action Mulan. Disney's making their live action remake, their live reaction. So, like I said, they're both looking for Asian talent. Sony decided, fuck that. Let's get a name that no one knows. Alex Graves, who's directed like Game of Thrones, Homeland, and then the Mouse approached Ang Lee to direct, but he said no. And this
Yeah,
happened
he wanted to direct it at like a million frames a second, and they were like,
probably.
"You can't do that."
I
And he said,
I'm
"All right,
I'm
fuck you."
gonna see. I don't care what the reviews say. I'm gonna see Billy Lynn's halftime walk in
I
4K
I still want to
3D
see it.
120.
I
I'm
know.
gonna do it
You know,
with
I'm
the
hoping that I can at least
HDR.
get 2K 120. Like, I at least want the
Nah,
120.
I
The
want
resolution is
I
not
want it all.
the biggest deal to me.
I want the 4K laser
You're
HDR.
able to get
Exactly.
it. Like, you're 20
Yeah.
minutes away from that. You're lucky
I'm
in that
gonna
sense.
get it. I don't care if
Yeah.
I have to go alone. I'm just curious because I have yet to see high frame rate in for live action besides like sports. And you tweeted at me. I didn't respond because I wanted to save it to the show. 120 already works in VR. Matter of fact, most VR content on PlayStation Virtual Reality are up. Not it's called like it's like upscaled basically to
Yeah. Well, I mean,
120.
it's like it is about making things look like reality.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, yeah, for anything in that capacity, yeah, higher frame rates make sense. There's a future for them. I'm still not convinced that it's for movies.
It's not for movies. I know that.
You got yet to experience it, but in The Hobbit, like it, Billy Lynn's long halftime walk, I imagine would, because there's a more of a sense of reality there that yeah, you can play around with it and use cinematic tricks and make it feel otherworldly in that
Hmm.
sense, but with The Hobbit, there was just something. There was a huge disconnect there. Um, like it really was just weird because it's like, yeah, the CGI stood out as even like as detailed as it could have been. It seemed like they just put more pains to like deal with that, and yet you have the imperfections of just human performance that stand like weirdly not in sync. It's a really weird thing to experience, and I did not dig it any of the 3 times that I
Well,
saw
I'll
it.
have to check this out. I'll let our listeners know what I think of the HFR with the HDR. But back on Disney, last week they fucking announced that Guy Ritchie's directing the live action Aladdin. I'm still upset about that. Like, I can't believe. Like,
Because it's a white male
no,
director
because I
doing
fucking
it?
joked about that like 3 times on this show. When they announced The Lion King, when I saw Jungle Book, like I was like, Aladdin's gonna be next. It has to be Aladdin, and sure enough, they're going for it. They're going for them all. There is nothing sacred there anymore, and like at least supposedly this one's gonna retain its musical stylings. They're gonna incorporate.
Well, they all are supposed to.
No,
Yeah, no,
like
Lion King is
Jungle
going
Book
to. They've said
did,
that.
but I don't know. It's like.
I've seen the Bare Necessities song, like at least on the
Yeah, like
soundtrack.
it's okay, but it's even still. I don't know. Like Lion King, I think it's gonna make new songs. Aladdin, I don't know. And then the bigger question is, what are they gonna do about Genie? How are they gonna respect Robin Williams?
I mean, by not trying to top him for
Not
well,
possible. Like, of course they're not gonna
yeah,
top him.
yeah, no, just don't try. I mean, well, you can't bring in an imitator. That would be insulting. And I mean, a lot of that was Robin Williams improvising it. Shit, I don't know. Did they try with like one of the sequels because Robin Williams
Yeah,
refused
no,
to come back because he wasn't getting paid
all
enough, and it was Dan Hedaya, I
both
think.
sequels have impersonators, and it's pretty close.
No, Robin Williams came back for one of them.
Maybe for
Even though it was straight to
I think
video.
that was for King of Thieves, because
Yeah,
Return
that's
of
the
Jafar,
one.
which came out the year right after, was direct to video, and it's not even
Yeah.
like a big budget, but they got a lot of people for is it King of Thieves?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that one had some
Because that
good
was the
songs.
last one.
Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like what was I can't.
I don't know how well the straight to video ones would hold up,
No,
but yeah,
I remember it
enjoyed
was
it
good.
as a
Just like
kid.
the whole concept of Aladdin's dad, and then bringing in like even more like just mythology of that part of the world with like the Midas
Whereas
touch.
Return of Jafar is just a
Yeah,
second one.
it's literally like the sequel. It's like, well, what if Jafar came back? Let's make the Return of Jafar. Like it's so bizarre. But let me just check right now. I'm seeing 1996, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, because I do want to say Robin Williams came back, but let's find
I'm
out.
pretty sure that that's the one.
That,
Because if that's the last one,
he
I
came
know
back
that
for
he
that.
didn't come back for the
Yeah, he
second
must have
one.
got so much money, just like crazy money.
Not the first
No,
time around.
that's
but
why
yeah.
he must have came back. He's like, so how big is the check gonna be? Because he got dick so hard. Because it's Disney.
Yep.
Move to some video games real quick before we end the top of the show. A couple of headlines here. Talked about it before in terms of rumors. Did you see the Nintendo Switch, what the NX is actually known as now?
Nope,
No,
I have not.
it's a pretty cool system. It's modular in design. The way it works is the single system, the Switch, can be used either as a handheld device or like a portable system rather, or be used at home. So when you're at home, you put it in a dock, it puts it on your TV. When you're on the go, it has a kickstand, and you can play it that way with the controllers wirelessly between you and one other person, or you can put them on the side and hold it like it's a big-ass tablet. And I do mean it's a big-ass tablet. This thing is huge. It cannot fit in a pocket, does not fold in half. This is not a DS. This thing is gigantic. It's the size of the Wii U gamepad, the Wii U's controller, except the sides come off. I don't know what the battery life is. Nintendo's not saying shit. There's not even a hard date of release yet. It's just March. There's no price point. There's some games announced, but not really. Like, apparently Zelda is a pack-in title. It's going to have NBA, but it's the weirdest trailer ever. You see this group of guys playing basketball, and then they sit down and start playing basketball at the basketball court. It doesn't make sense. Like, it is the wackiest system I've ever seen, and yet I really, really want to use one. Like, I am curious enough to see, because it makes sense. I've talked about it, maybe not on this show, but with a lot of people. Nintendo has always been profitable in its portable sector. It's been less and less profitable in the home market, basically since the N64. The Wii was the rare exception of just motion controls, but after that, like, just fad died, they haven't been successful. And so marrying the two, which is basically going to mean that they're going to stop making handheld systems altogether, is basically their only way to stay in business. If they make a singular system and only games one way, that they're gonna stay. And good for them. At least they're trying something new. It is modular design. It's just it doesn't look like it supports discs at all. So that means all Wii and Wii U games are dead. And so maybe the eShop is going to be able to use the digital library for backwards compatibility. But then there's like questions like, does this thing with the huge screen even have a touchscreen? And if it doesn't, that's really weird because it would be their first system since like 2006 that doesn't. Or 2005 actually. So lots of questions, really weird.
No, it was '06
When the
wasn't
Wii
it?
came out, I want to say it was like '05,
Yeah.
'06.
I want to say it was like the same time. '06 and '07 were like the. '06 was when the 360 came out. I want to say the Wii was the same time.
It's
but
right. It's all around '05,
yeah.
'06. Like that's the year that the last console generation began. But even before that, with their DS handheld, the dual screen, which is now on like its third iteration, it kind of helped with its tandem of the iPhone being released shortly thereafter, just make touchscreen inputs happen. And so if this new device is leaving touchscreen input, it's like, what? Like, you're going to abandon the kind of things that you helped create in the first place? So I really need to find out more about this thing. I hope it sells. I sell Wii U's for a living. They do not move off the shelves. It's a dead system. And Nintendo...
It's Nintendo. It'll sell.
I
Based on the
no.
brand alone. I mean, because it's a family console. It may not be that big in the
That's
gaming
not what
community,
how
but,
they're marketing this one. This one doesn't look like. This is them going
But I think they might still have that as a fallback.
because
at least.
this one is both a handheld and a home system, and because it doesn't have a portable design like the DS, it's probably not something that a parent would want to give to their kid. Because if they broke it on the go at school, then they also have to replace their home system because they don't have one anymore. So stuff like a price point is what I'm really interested in. If they were smart, it would be $399.99. We'll see though. Like I could see them try to ask for 500 and then just tank. But we'll find out probably in a month or two. I'm guessing right around Christmas. That's when pre-orders are going to come out and they're going to announce all that stuff. The way bigger video game news though is that SAG-AFTRA has initialized a strike for its members of the video game voice acting industry, and so I think it starts tomorrow. Basically, the guild is demanding higher compensation for their union's members, and in particular for successful IPs, particularly from Electronic Arts, Activision, and Warner Brothers, three of the biggest studios. Hey, look, AT&T, that are in the video game business. And so basically, the idea here is in the same way that kind of like how actors don't always get paid percentages based on box office growth. Voice actors in video games never get paid that stuff. Like unless you're the rare exception of the name brand actor like Nolan North or Troy Barker or
Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill.
yeah, well, those are like actual voice actors, but I'm talking like in terms of just video games. Like it's a different subset. Like there's crossover, but not really. But yeah, if you don't have a top billing like that, no one knows who you are, and you get paid nothing. And so they're hoping that they can change that, and it makes sense, especially with how big of an industry video games are. Like it, as far as I'm aware, is the biggest entertainment industry on the planet currently, and it's probably going to stay that way until VR gets adopted further. And even still, the same voice actors are doing VR content. So this is like probably just an
And they're getting no residuals.
yeah, this is a
for it.
necessary step for the future of them. So I'm happy that they're doing this. I hope that the video game companies are able to match whatever is there, and that it's not too long of unhappy arrangement or whatever. So I'm going to take a quick water break. This is also another part where Patreon, you could go there. You could support us. I could pimp out your website, your house, your podcast, anything you want. Anything. Seriously. If you want me to talk about how much of a whore your wife is, whatever. We'll do anything for you. All you got to do is give us a couple dollars.
All we're basically asking is that you pay for our Doctor Strange tickets so we can review it, guys.
Yeah, I'd like to see that in IMAX
really
3D.
wanna go.
That'd be really cool.
We really want to go.
Be
yeah.
really, really cool, guys.
Yeah, please help
It's
us
like
out.
the only thing that I know for sure I'm seeing the rest of the year is the new Harry Potter movie because I got a free ticket. Like I have nothing else that I'm like, ooh, I really have to see that besides La La Land.
I will see that movie if you pay for me to review it,
Well, you're gonna
guys.
see it anyway. Don't fucking lie.
I'm not
Really?
seeing it. No, I'm not.
You're
I'm
not
really not.
curious to
Yeah.
see what Damien Chazelle can do with the?
Oh no, no, La La Land. Yes,
Oh
not
no,
Fantastic
no.
Beasts.
I was
No.
gonna say like
Yeah.
you better be seeing
Yeah.
La La Land.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. But if you guys can pay for it on Patreon, that
That'd
would
be
make
even
it
better,
easier for me
guys.
to
Just
see it.
saying, even better.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/dollar Support
Yeah.
us. Support us. Let us get the money. I can buy VR stuff. I can buy food. I can take my lady on a date. All kinds of things. Just give me the money. Give us the money. I'd buy that for $1, and you could buy us. But yeah, here's the film news. The coolest one, and this is something that I knew was gonna happen very soon, but I'm just happy the talent behind it is doing it. The Coen brothers are writing a script inspired by the Silk Road called Dark Web. It's an adaptation of Wired's article. I can't remember the actual name of it right now. Just type in the Silk Road dark and Wired, and you can read it. It's fucking awesome. If you don't know what the Silk Road is, it's on the dark internet. Basically, was like the illegal version of Amazon. You could buy anything from like human trafficking to prescription drugs to like weapons, and they would get sent to your house, all legal because it was unregulated and it was all done through Bitcoin. This is something that Dope tackles to a very minimal extent. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's on Netflix. It's awesome. It was kind of on both of our top of the year lists last year.
It was on mine, and then you were just kind of like,
Well,
"What? Why the
it
fuck
was,
would you make
it
that
was,
so
yeah,
high?"
it was an honorable mention for me. It was kind of on my list. I mean, I got the poster still.
Yeah, you attacked my placement
It was real
right after
high.
naming Magic Mike
Yes.
Double XL on your
Hey, our
top
listeners
10.
agree that that's
The
a good
second
movie.
after. You know what? Numbers do not make up for quality.
That's not true.
If every movie that made $1 billion is based on I phrased that horribly. If a movie made $1 billion, making $1 billion is an indicator that it's good, then I'm fucking up this point so bad and dragging it on. But
Fast
you know what
7
I'm
was
saying.
amazing. Just saying.
Okay. All right. If even $840 million for Batman v Superman, that's still
That is an amazing movie. Not the version they showed
that's
me in the
better
dark
than
room.
Dope dollars wise or Magic Mike Double XL.
I danced to Dope during its final credits every time I cleaned a theater and it was playing. Okay, so I
Oh
definitely
man, I wish I was
yeah, I
there for
definitely
that.
like the movie. Okay, it's okay. It's good for what it is.
I'm feeling good. Can't bring me down.
Like the Oreo songs are
Can't
really
bring
good.
me
Good
down.
movie. I love the way it
I'm
ends.
in a good
Great,
mood.
great,
Can't
real
bring me
topical
down.
message, but not.
Watch Dope, you guys. It's a fucking awesome.
Just
movie.
watch it because Rick Famuyiwa is directing the Flash movie, and he's taking his female lead from that over to the DC universe.
Or because it's just a
and
great movie.
and it's a good
lot of
movie. It's a
fun.
good, almost John Hughes type thing. Like it's very fun to
And
movie.
even if it was topical at the time that it came out, it still stands
Maybe I don't
the
know.
test
I
of
haven't-
time. A year and a half later.
But anyway, this movie, The Dark Web, like I said, written by the Coen brothers. No word if they're going to direct it. I think this would be perfect for them. Be really interesting just to see what they put in there. Like the formation of the website maybe just starts with someone going on there and with like someone's like, have you seen this before? No, let me show you all the stuff you can buy, and it's like an infomercial basically.
I don't know about them directing it because just their dry wit
That's what I'm saying.
and
It could be
deadpan sort of
interesting.
sensibilities. It would be interesting, but then I'm not sure it would really fit. For a story this fascinating, like maybe them writing it, and not handing it to someone like Spielberg, but like they were writers on Bridge of Spies, and their hand is there, but it's like a Spielberg version of that, and them directing that would be completely different.
No, yeah, that movie needed to be Spielberg. That wasn't one of their
Yeah.
movies. However, this could go so many different ways. You can make it.
Give it to
You
David
can make
Fincher.
so you can make it really dark and serious. You can make it really witty and weird. Like this is an internet movie. Like it's not Snowden. It's not the Fifth Wave. Like this is.
Hell, give it to Oliver
He
Stone.
probably
actually.
wants it. Like this could be like a real
Yeah,
internet movie.
I really was a fan of Snowden. People were very divided on that, but that might be one of my 10 best movies of the year. Like I enjoyed it.
A
that
better
much.
fit though, and I'm sure you saw this. Very excited about this movie now. Donald Glover is the young Lando Calrissian. We all kind of wanted that to happen. It finally did. He's in a blockbuster finally. Perfect casting.
Yeah,
Gonna be awesome. I hope he.
I love
I hope
the guy.
he
No, seriously,
releases.
I'm a big fan of.
I hope he
Community.
releases a mixtape called like New Young Lando or something. Just make some rap songs about how awesome it is to be in Star Wars now. Like he was part of The Martian. Now he's part of this. Like, there's only ever one black guy in space, I guess, and it's him right now.
Have you seen Atlanta yet?
No, I still haven't. I have the first episode on my YouTube. Watch later.
Mm-hmm.
I've been so caught up with, because it's like right when so many things ended, so many things started. I'm so behind. I haven't seen any Shameless this year. I'm like only 2 episodes in on Ash versus Evil Dead. Shit, I got Last Man on Earth, which I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind on. Like I said, I've only 3 episodes into Luke Cage. I've only seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes of Gotham. I'm up to date on The Flash. I haven't even checked out Westworld. I still have to watch Stranger Things. Like, I am so behind that the concept.
You're
Well, you're
behind.
really behind, but like just the
I mean, I got 2 episodes of Stranger Things out of the way. There is
Ahead of me
that,
on that.
but I have not continued it. I'm still finishing Daredevil season 2
like I'm
right
so
now.
behind, especially in terms of TV. Like it is a chore. Like it, if you have a couple things on your plate, like to find the time, especially if you don't binge. Oh my god, like it is so hard. Like binging is easy. That's why I've
Yeah.
never been a fan of it. Like it doesn't take any real just fucking not just necessarily vigor, but real like capacity to want to watch something when it's all there all at once. It's like there's a difference between me watching Smallville once a week for 10 years and someone watching Smallville within 10 days.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
dedication,
I
it's a whole nother level of
yeah, I
fandom.
mean, it's very difficult to do week to week, especially because like I could be at a different state of mind on the Tuesday that something airs and just not feel like watching it for whatever reason, or I don't know. I also have a life, so it's just tougher to manage TV, really. Um, some people do it. I have no idea
Oh.
how. Maybe they don't have
Or maybe,
lives. Maybe
I
that's
mean, they
it.
probably just don't watch movies. They just watch TV. Like some people are that way.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, because
Probably
it's
a no
cheaper.
lives thing. No lives, no movies.
Hey, I don't want to ruin our audience, like, or not ruin them. I don't know. Is my voice capable of breaking an
I don't know.
audience?
We could
I don't
try.
know. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
we could try.
Yeah.
This one's kind of cool. I'm super excited about the murder mystery comeback. I really hope the rom com does too, but the swashbuckler might next. Miguel Sapochnik, the guy who directed the final 2 episodes of Game of Thrones this season, some of the best episodes the series has ever had. He's making a new Sinbad, and then on top of that, James Wan has promised that there's going to be swashbuckling action in the Aquaman standalone movie. So over the next couple of years, we could get that kind of thing back. It'd be really cool if we get like an Errol Flynn biopic, maybe even just something like that, because like, that's a genre that hasn't existed in quite some since like not Westworld, since Waterworld.
Pirates is probably
Yeah,
the closest
and
that you get
it's
to it, honestly, because there is swashbuckling
a little
fun
bit,
there.
especially in the first one.
Yeah.
But that's like, I don't know. Disney's making a Don Quixote film that's supposed to feel exactly like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So maybe that, even though it's on land.
Which makes sense, but that's also a big fuck
Oh,
you
totally.
to,
Like Terry Gilliam, when
a
when he
huge
heard
one.
that, he's like, shit, because he probably knows that that's gonna come out right after his, and then no one's gonna care about his movie. So good thing.
Well, it's just like, is his actually still
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
made
yeah.
right now, even though he
Yeah, no,
swears
I'm
that
pretty
it's
sure
going to be done?
by this time next year it'll be on home video. And
Like, if he now he has to beat out that Disney release date, and that's
it might be motivation,
I don't know
not
that
like the fire on his ass, not something that rushes his production. Like, how do you rush something that is this delayed?
yeah, that's been planned out for a
Yeah.
long time. Like, he knows that movie backwards and forwards now. It just needs to get
Like,
shot.
usually a movie like this ends up not well. So
It'll be overhyped. It won't be like the greatest thing ever for sure. But
we'll see. I don't know. It's been a while. I know you
well,
saw
yeah,
Zero
I
Theorem.
don't know. Once it's done, it'll be
I know
like,
you saw Zero Theorem, but he hasn't made something really good in quite some time, unless that one was.
yeah. And even Zero Theorem, like, apparently I seem to be on the minority because I really, really, really dug that movie, but I don't have any problems with it either. It has a lot going on, but it's completely comprehensible.
Yeah, I'll probably
I
watch that
think.
by the end of the year. Just like once October's over, once I just like
Yeah.
I'm like filling the void before the Oscar season. Just
Well, so if you like rewatch Gilliam flicks like right away, because I mean, sure, it might kind of play like a greatest hits of Brazil and 12 Monkeys, like, and other stuff in a sense, but
still haven't seen Time
I'm
Bandits.
kind of detached. Yeah, I'm kind of detached from my first viewing though of all that stuff. And but Time Bands it's
Yeah,
fucking
still
awesome,
haven't seen
dude.
it.
What the fuck are you
Oh,
doing?
I'm sorry. You got a lot of shit on your list of shame. We got a whole show about that.
I know, and it'll come up, and you'll
I mean,
give me
West
shit
Side
for it.
Story.
That's why that show
West Side Story, man.
exists.
I've been
Yeah,
in
I
a
know. I
production of
waited.
West Side Story.
I waited for the ideal time where I might have a 70 millimeter
I can
screening.
sing
So
all
I've
those
got no shame in
songs.
waiting for that. Okay.
Maybe that's gonna be the
And yet,
episode.
when I brought it up, you didn't want to do an
Because
episode
I've
of it
seen it. I've
the
seen
first
it.
time I
Like I
brought it
said,
up.
I was in it. Like I know all the dialogue. Like I know all the songs. Like I've seen it so many times
Hey, it's a
that
show where we talk about
I'm,
movies where one
I'm
or
saying
both of
like the
us have seen.
concept though of watching that for work. It's like I don't really want to watch it. Like if you get
No, but it maybe, but it's just even if it is something that you have seen already, it is just fun to talk about movies, especially
sorta
ones that you like and that you want to share the love for it.
maybe like
I mean, like I saw that director's cut of Daredevil so many times. Like I talked at
it's
length, farther
I'm
than I even
I'm
thought.
pretty
Like
sure
that was our longest episode at the
in the
time
one
too.
year that I had that play, I saw West Side Story / heard it more times than you've ever seen Daredevil.
Uh, you know what? Sad truth. I've probably seen the theatrical cut of Daredevil more than the
Oh,
director's
for
cut.
sure. I know I have.
Probably, yeah. No, like I used to have that DVD on the background in the whole time.
I've
Like
probably
all the
seen that
time, yeah.
DVD, well, just like the theatrical version, period, probably around like 6 or 7 times. Like that's a modest guess.
And I've seen
Yeah,
it way more
that sounds
than
accurate
that.
though, like 6 or 7. 'Cause I saw it in
Yeah.
theaters. I saw it when it came out, and then I must have watched it like just a handful more.
Well, now you can watch a better cut in
It's
HD.
true. Yeah, thank you. Still in the
Yeah,
plastic wrap.
yeah.
When I decide to watch that one, I'm gonna get real excited. It's gonna smell like it's from the Amazon factory still.
It's a good one to show to people for the first time when they're like, "No, fuck you,
It's
that
like,
movie's
no,
bad."
fuck you.
And then I'm just like, "Sit your ass down and
Yeah,
just
you
trust
you
me."
listen to us, Blake. Sit your ass down and trust us. A different.
He's seen it. Yeah, it took a while, but he
It's
saw
like
it.
there is a superhero coming back right now, though. You remember Captain Planet? Do you? Because Leonardo DiCaprio really hopes you do. He's gonna team with Paramount Pictures with his Appian Way production company. Len Powell's gonna write it. No one's cast yet. But Leo loves saving the environment. You saw him win all those awards last year. It's all he could fucking say in his thank you speech. I just got one question for this. Are mullets making a comeback too?
You know
Can they
what?
cast me?
I was hope.
I'll put blue paint on.
I don't know. Hey, you can try. You didn't do the
Nope.
Ready Player One auditions, and you're always going to hate
Eh,
yourself
not
in the head
really.
for that.
Like-
Hey, but like I thought you were going to talk about him being ordered to testify, like against. I don't know, but apparently, like he laundered some money while they were shooting Wolf of Wall Street.
If he was smart, you'd say it was character acting.
Exactly.
Like,
But that's still illegal.
even still, he's like, I was getting character. You like the movie, right? Well, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have known what to do on screen. So, fuck you.
Yeah. I would never have shoved a candle up my ass. You never would have seen it right there. Do you really want to give me a prison sentence?
It's like
But-
I don't know how much money he made, but congratulations to Blumhouse. They just crossed the $2 billion mark for all their films this past weekend. Yeah,
Really?
super exciting.
Wow.
Yeah,
That seriously, wow, yeah.
And they're only going to keep going.
All it took was the second Ouija film. It took the good one to get them
I
there.
want to see both. Well, maybe not both, but I'm curious to see that Ouija because it can't be worse than Battlefield. Not Battlefield. I mean, fucking Battleship. It can't be worse than that. It has to be better.
Well, no, like then I got more confidence in this one because it's Mike Flanagan, who's proven that he at least knows how to make a horror movie, a decent one. Like he'll at least take his time and put thought into it.
We'll see. Here's the final piece of film news I got. It's not exactly the movies we talk about, but it is very important. We started the show with the debate. We talked about Donald Trump a little bit, and this is a California proposition, so you probably don't even know what it is, Steve. But when you lived here, you might remember during the '08 election, there was Proposition 60 that passed. And what that entailed was that all pornography filmed in Los Angeles County required pornographic actors to wear condoms.
And now they're trying to make it a bigger thing.
Now they're trying to make it a statewide thing. So it wasn't that big a deal.
I
People
knew it.
were in San Fernando Valley. They moved up north, whatever. But yeah, 4 years after Prop 60 passed, Measure B is in place. and they want everyone to have protected sex. It makes sense. This like proposition is being lobbied for by the AIDS Foundation. So their idea is, if people are watching porn, they see people wearing a certain thing, they're gonna immediately think, okay, I should wear one of those to be like a professional. Makes sense. That's fair. In the same way that, extreme sports, they wear pads and helmets, football players wear pads, like, it makes sense. What doesn't make sense is that they're trying to limit an actor's integrity. It's no longer a choice of, you might call it smut, but it is artistic freedom. And so, in a really cool way to try to bypass this and piss off voters and make them understand why they have to vote for this, or vote against it rather, Kink.com, Vivid, and Evil Angel all blocked California IP addresses on Monday from accessing sites as a sign of protest / just to educate potential voters of the kind of bad things that would happen. Like I think what the black screen said, as of right now, if this measure passed, you would not be able to watch any of the content on our website. And I think they're even going so far as to retain some of that IP addresses, and like they're tying them, I want to say, to voters, and they might even actually block them if they vote against the measure, or vote for the measure rather. And so I'm not a registered voter, but because of this thing, I am so scared that this is a thing, even though I don't even watch that much porn to begin with, and there's already so much porn out there.
This is the thing that would that would get you out of the house to vote? Well, isn't it too late for you to register?
No, I got a message from like Facebook earlier. I think I have like another 12 hours. I think I will register.
Do it, not for this, but for
this
other
is more
reasons.
important for me. This is a statewide thing. I actually have a voice in this matter. The way the Electoral College works, it doesn't matter who I vote for. The Electoral College doesn't have to vote for the person I pick. Popular vote doesn't work that way.
Mine might be more of I don't know. Mine, it seems like it might be a close 50-50 split in that election, so my vote kind of matters.
But this actually matters. California is a direct democracy. If the numbers are tallied, a single vote could make a difference, and I would, like I said, I don't necessarily watch that much porn, but I do watch VR porn, and the idea of watching a fabricated, like, porn experience and having to watch someone wear a condom is not something I'm interested in. Why would you...
We'll just jerk off with a condom on.
For sure, right? It's like, why... Let me watch this fantasy of sex, the sex that I can't get because I'm clearly watching porn. Let me watch them do it the safe way. And the real weird thing here is, if this happens, people are undoubtedly in the state of California going to just make underground porn. They're going to do it through the improper channels. They're not going to be tested. They're not going to have all the regulations that are currently at play. It's going to be detrimental to the performers, and it could become something dangerous. Like, who knows? Like, some kind of, like, hepatitis Q could come out that, like, destroys people. I don't know. Because, like, the way it currently is set up, it's like pornographic stars, they get tested, not just for pregnancy and stuff, but they get tested, like, weekly. In the same way that actors have to get a physical for a big movie, porn stars have to do that stuff and get blood work done. Like, this isn't, let's just make funky fucky, Like, this is industry, a big one that is propelling VR and 4K and all these different things. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if high frame rate in HDR is already in porn, or if it isn't now, it probably will be in the next year.
It inevitably will.
Like, it just makes sense. It's the perfect medium for that. Like, sports and sex, like, it makes sense. But that's my little rant about why I might vote this election. Here's some internet tech and VR stuff to close out the show. We'll start with kind of film also, but this is more TV. YouTube. So YouTube Red, which started about a year ago now, they've got a lot of people on board. They have mostly just YouTuber stuff currently. They have like a Step Up adaptation coming soon. They announced this past week that The Rock, Doug Liman, and Dan Harmon are all on board to make content. The Rock is going to be making something called Lifeline, which is like a sci-fi show. It sounds pretty cool. It's like traveling 33 days ahead to save a client for like a company you work for. Kind of like Minority Report, except you're not stopping them, you're saving them. Whatever. Doug Liman is making like a Jumper ripoff, and then Dan Harmon is adapting the Game Grump personalities into a series for like a quest to esports glory. Sounds like
Well, hold up. Doug Liman's making a ripoff of his
Yeah,
own
that's
movie?
what it sounds like. Yeah.
All right.
But even cooler than that, the fact that they got these big names working with them. There's supposed to be another service coming out. This is Google's over-the-top service called YouTube Unplugged, and it's rumored to be separate from Red. It would be its own subscription, but it might include Red content on it. So this would be their way to combat with Dish's Sling, DirecTV Now, Sony View, Hulu service, which is coming very soon, as well as those are the major ones, and then you got Google themselves. So this is probably going to be announced soon. It'd be really cool. I mean, I've been talking about it a lot. My Spotify subscription just ended. I didn't really use it, but I do use YouTube, not Red necessarily, but the subscription a lot in terms of not having YouTube ads, getting unlimited music through their Play Music app, which we're a part of, mind you, and then also, whatever else I can do. And so for like $10 a month, not only do I get Spotify content, basically, but I also don't have to watch ads on YouTube, and I get special content that I can watch. Like, it is really cheap. It's the cheapest, even compared to Amazon's, which is actually really funny. It was also on our week off. This was like the funniest thing that happened. Amazon, as you probably saw, introduced their own Spotify competitor called Music Unlimited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're marketing it out.
Yeah, so really great price point. If you're a Prime member, you get it for $8 a month, which is the cheapest for a music subscription of this caliber. If you're not on Prime, it's $10 a year, and then if you want to pay up front as a Prime member, it's $79 a year. Also, which is really cool, if you have Amazon Echo speakers, it's only $4 a month. So a really good deal if you're already part of the infrastructure. The news point, though, isn't that. What's really funny is that just days before they announced this new service, users with Echo devices found that they could listen to 30-second snippets of Lady Gaga's new album. Like, they incidentally leaked her own music. I don't even know how they did that. Like, someone with Alexa was probably just like, hey, Alexa, play me that new Lady Gaga. And so they parked the content on Amazon. It's just it wasn't hidden, and so people on the internet were saying is this if it has to not be on the internet at all to not leak? And there's this whole question of is AI to blame?
Wow.
Is tech beating media now? All this stuff. And then in the same week, it was also announced, or rumored anyway, speculated, that Amazon is looking to open grocery stores to complement their existing bookstores, and possibly even use license plate scanning at drive-up stores in the near future. I don't know what they're doing at Amazon. As much as I love them,
We've been talking nothing but praise.
it's this is so weird. The bookstores was already kind of weird, except they had the angle. They're like, no. In those stores, we only put things on the shelves that actually are sold in the area to our subscribers. So it's guaranteed to sell. It's not like regular retail, okay? But then it's why are you going to make a grocery store? So you're going to tell me you're going to have Amazon Books and Amazon Grocery? How much longer?
I don't see the point. How many grocery stores
Not many.
are there already
Not many
at this
anymore.
point?
They're going out of business. It's they're all conglomerated. So how?
Man, Amazon's the new
How
Walmart
long
now.
is it going to take for there to be just an Amazon superstore? You got movies and music and books, groceries. It's a Walmart. It's literally a Walmart. And then that's where their drones are parked, and that's where they leave from. And also on top of that, it's that's where the Amazon delivery happens. Instead of using a warehouse, you can either go to the store or you can buy it and they can deliver it to you free of charge. Come in the store, and it's a gym too. I think they just think that they can't fail, because they really never have.
I mean, they have enough to try to innovate and experiment at this point that they can try new stuff. And it might not sound like a necessary idea on paper, but it might be profitable.
It's the only time they've really.
And if it's profitable, yeah, there's no reason to.
The only
say no
time
to
I can
it.
remember them failing in my lifetime, since I've followed tech, is when they did the Fire Phone a couple years ago. But other than that, and it wasn't that it was a bad device, it was just not thought out well. I can't think of something that they have not succeeded at. It's not like Google, where they fail all the time, or Yahoo or Microsoft. It's they only take so many gambles, and it always pays off. like something like Amazon like Prime Now or Prime Instant or the
Hmm.
monthly Prime or fucking save money on the video games. Like almost every when they announced that, if you're Prime and you have Twitch, you get ads free, and like almost every move they make is smart. And I'm sure if they're actually doing this, if grocery stores are a thing, it's going to work too. It's just like, I'm sorry, when your Echo speakers fuck up and leak music, maybe you should fix the problems you have now before making new things. But whatever makes their stockholders happy. I mean, I got their credit card, you got their credit
Well, it
card.
could be negligence, or it could be a temporary bug that they figured out real quick. Who knows? You know,
I don't know, it's just kind of funny. This
it is kind of funny, but it's also scary at the same
Even
time.
weirder, this is the opposite of that. This is Walmart trying to be them. Voodoo, I use it, you use it, great service in terms of just buying, renting, whatever, parking your ultraviolet content. Their Voodoo storefront is unleashing something called Movies on Us, which is a free ad-supported section of their site. This is to compete with the likes of Crackle and Hulu when you don't pay money. If it's successful, they're saying that it could pave the way for a subscription model, which would be cool. But I'm still interested anyway. I know that there's supposed to be actually good content stuff on there in the same way that there is on Crackle. And I think it's like there's an ad at the front, there's one in the middle, and then maybe like one or two others. But it's not Hulu status where it's like every 10 minutes type of thing.
Or
Yeah,
Crackle,
because
yeah.
Crackle,
Like, and hopefully they're better placed instead of
yeah,
randomly occurring.
better than that, just like not repeat commercials too. That's the worst part about Hulu, having to watch the same thing three, like especially when you have to watch the same one back to back at the same break.
Well, it's also that's how commercials are set for movies when you watch them on TV in
Yeah.
Europe. Which really, that was something I really missed. Was like, the stuff was usually it was uncut, but there would be it's like an intermission right in the middle of the movie, and sure, commercials would run for like 5, maybe 7 minutes, but it was a nice break that was actually planned out at least, and leaves you on a cliffhanger in the middle
Like, I
of the movie.
think
So hopefully it's like that. I doubt it. Maybe I doubt there's an algorithm that could pinpoint the exact time that it should pause, but that's a better model that way than having like 20 commercial breaks within 3 hours when you're just watching some for like 10 minutes and then 5 minutes
well,
of
if you want to do some
commercials.
reporting, I might do it myself, but I mean, I do believe that this is already available. You can see this right now as we're recording, so you can check it out. Maybe they got some Halloween stuff on there. Who knows? But the final,
Maybe, yeah. Should check and see if
yeah,
it's on there.
I doubt it. But the final little piece of tech news we got here before we talk about VR. Australia is very lucky right now. They're the first country to get gigabit LTE. In layman's terms, this is the transitional stage to 5G wireless network. A gigabit means 1 gigabyte per second, which is what 4G is actually supposed to, or like it's supposed to be 100 megabits, which it never is. But yeah, Australia's getting this first. That means it's not going to be much longer before the rest of the world gets it. This is exciting. This is going to mean that there's going to be no reason for you to have a hardwired internet modem. That at all times you're going to have internet faster than you currently have it at home. And I
Nice.
can't wait for us to actually get this. So you can do VR content on your phone and stream 4K on the go. And, obviously a better battery life is going to have to come along with this. But even still, it's like Australians, they get the short end of the stick all the time, especially with the way their money like conversion works. It's almost as bad as Canada. But other than that, they got plastic money. They got good internet speeds on their phones. I'm not sure the Outback's going to fare well, but even still, kind of cool. No,
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm way behind as far as updating tech that it doesn't
no, yeah,
like
we're not going to get this.
hit me at this point yet, but there
Yeah,
will
we're
be
not
a
going to get
time.
this for quite some time. Like I said, we're technically
Yeah.
still not 4G. Like on average, I think I get like 8 to 10 megabits down. Like I said, it's supposed to be 100 while stationary. I think like 80 while moving. That's what the LTE.
I don't even have a data
Well,
plan,
yeah,
so
you definitely get none. But like that's what the LTE standard
Yeah.
is. Like LTE stands for long-term evolution. It was supposed to get better and better as it was out there longer and longer, which it has, but it hasn't. It's basically stayed the same it has since 4G became a thing. It's like WiMAX like could have been better maybe. Like at least that was going faster. But anyway, off the geeky stuff, back to VR. A little bit of movie VR content right here. Assassin's Creed, the movie, mind you, is getting a VR experience in time for that blockbuster coming out. Um,
Naturally, because
everything
everything
is
is.
every blockbuster
I
now.
mean, isn't Rogue One
Yeah.
getting
Oh, well,
something at
yeah.
this
It's
point?
getting a Star
Yeah.
Wars Battlefront VR experience on PSVR. It's probably also going to get some like kind of Jakku Spy thing on the Star Wars app. Maybe just even like a YouTube
Are they
video.
even going to
No,
Jakku
I'm
for
just saying like something
Rogue
in the
One?
same
Or
way that the Jakku Spy experience is worked on
okay,
Google Cardboard. But even if they don't, they literally have something called. It's like the longest title ever. It's like the I think it's like Rogue One, the Star Wars story, Star Wars Battlefront VR, the Trench PSVR experience.
it's just Star Wars. That's
It's
all
the
you need to know.
longest, like convoluted. Obviously, this is what it is. Like title you can come up with.
And this is why we're using it as an excuse
Yeah.
to put it out. But
Well,
it's Star Wars. That's
you're gonna
all you
actually
need.
be piloting an X-wing in the trenches of the Death Star. Like that. That's what this is, and it's free to anyone that owns Battlefront. So I'm gonna like borrow one for a couple of days to experience that, and hopefully I don't throw up. But yeah, even cooler than this, if you buy the Ezio Collection remaster, which is coming out, which is like Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, you get a free movie ticket to the movie. So you buy that game, get the free ticket, watch the VR experience, you're all in. Michael Fassbender's all in. But apparently they put a lot of work into this, like doing complete laser scans of all the prop work to make sure that it's accurate to the movie. I want to see like a leap of faith from a tower, like I maybe just like walking in the crowd. Like I'm really curious to see what kind of experience they do here. It's probably be similar to what Legendary has done, with just like you don't actually, it's not interactive or anything. You're just like on the wing of something or at the foot of like a Jaeger or whatever. Like it's not exactly anything special. It's just like a teaser trailer. Essentially, it's an experience. It's a tie-in. It's the promotional like TV show. Way more interesting though, and you probably might have something to say about this. PC gaming accessories maker Razer has just acquired THX. They weren't part of Lucasfilm. They were spun off a long time ago. Like matter of fact, just a little fun fact: before this purchase, they were part of Creative Labs. But this is said to help both of them enter the VR space. THX for the long time has been, championing their sound technologies to whatchamacallit, to certify movie theaters and home theaters. They hope that with Razer, who are already working on their own VR headset, they can help start certifying VR headsets as well. Plus, you're just probably going to get the THX like seal of approval in VR now. Which, who knows if that could actually be a thing. It might do like kind of what Dolby Vision is doing for HDR.
I mean, yeah, as far as movies, I don't want to say that THX is kind of obsolete, but
Yeah,
like
Atmos
movie
is a
theater
lot
sound has
past
gotten
that.
like so good. Yeah, that it's just like, well, it's a really cool logo with a really cool like recognizable sound. But that's kind of it at this point. Like I don't really know what it is that they do now.
Yeah,
exactly.
they probably.
If anything, there's nothing really there to innovate.
I don't know if
anymore,
they necessarily. Yeah, they
except for
probably don't
VR.
do much innovation, but yeah, the idea is like Razer already has an open source publishing model, or I mean, rather, they publish an open source piece of software for VR space. So this is just like it's in VR for a reason. This isn't at the top of the show. This isn't tech. This isn't really that important. It's just like maybe we're going to hear something from them in the near future. This is something else we talked about Doug Lyman a minute ago. He has a VR series only on Samsung right now called Invisible. It's going to be available on Jaunt and other portals soon, and also namely in VR theaters in as soon as a week or two from now. It's funded by Lexus, and it's a bit of ad placement supposedly, but I'm curious. I mean, Doug Lyman, he's done a lot of stuff, most namely, Swingers, which you haven't seen, and
No, but almost everything he does is at least interesting. It's not disposable. I mean, I have not even seen Jumper yet, but
it's
a
not
lot of
disposable.
people.
It's okay.
It kind of has a love-hate thing that it makes it interesting enough to at least make me want to check that out. I just
Do you
don't
want
know
to see
when.
Hayden Christensen in like a teen slanted superhero movie? Then
Sure,
check
why
out
not?
Jumper.
A CW type superhero
A little
movie?
bit, yeah.
Sure,
It's
absolutely.
like Jamie Bell and Hayden Christensen teleporting all over the globe, having fun.
Yeah, no
It's an okay
complaints.
movie. Like
I'll give it a shot.
I was kind of
Yeah.
looking forward to a sequel when it started, and then the movie got bad, and I was like, oh, no, maybe not. But it starts off really good. Like the first 25, 30 minutes, fine movie. Final piece of the show. This was almost part of the "fuck you AT&T" segment. VR Sports Illustrated. They've worked together before. They did the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue last year in VR. Matter of fact, if you bought certain issues of the magazine, you got a free Google Cardboard inside of the thing itself. But Sports Illustrated just recorded a VR footage of an Everest expedition for its Capturing Everest experience, which is coming early next year. It's a multi-part experience that begins with a Kathmandu exploration. You start at base camp, then you do the climb, and then finally you're going to reach the peak. Time Life says that it's in 360, so I doubt that means 3D, which is a shame. But it's going to take people to Everest for the real first time. Sorry, that Jake Gyllenhaal movie last year, I don't think anyone cared about that.
I don't think it was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, no, he was in that. It was an ensemble, but Jake Gyllenhaal was in Everest.
There's a lot of
a
people.
ton of people.
In that
Isaac
movie.
Clarke.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. Like
I don't think it's Isaac. Yeah, it's not Isaac. It's Jason Clarke.
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna say. I think that's who that's.
Lots
in
of
there.
people. Jake Gyllenhaal is definitely in that movie.
Yeah. I saw it dubbed, so I would.
But yeah,
him.
this is part of the Time Life VR app, which soft launched a couple of months ago. So it's like Sports Illustrated, Time Magazine, Life, Lifetime, like not Lifetime, but Lifestyles, like that's a condom brand, whatever. Like all of that content is like bundled in one in the same app. So of course, in the year to come, that's going to only be available on AT&T. If that were the case, it might still be the case. Maybe AT&T has so much money that they buy Time Life and put it back into Time Warner. Scary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but thanks for listening to the show. I hope it's been a pleasure. I hope you learned something new. If you did, send us an email. I said at the top, brian@dollarreviews.net, steve@dollarreviews.net. You can find us all over the web. Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, Tumblr, it's all dollar reviews. And if you want to listen to us, same deal on all these great services. Google Play Music, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, SoundCloud. If you can think of it, we're probably on it. Dollarreviews.net is where it all is. Have a good one.
See you next week.